Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your First She's Savage, Then She's Sweet director, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the SavageWorlds Adventure Edition system, and the setting is based on the fan-made world Agents of Oblivion, the perfect cocktail of horror and espionage by reality blurs. Our players are agents in a Black Ops organization called Oblivion, where they encounter everything from terrorists to cultists to ancient eldists. Without further ado, please enjoy this special one-shot, Agents of Oblivion, The Parable of the Bad Seed. Let's get our spy vibe on.
Always.
All right. The mission brief. Case file 1029-AO-23, missing persons. Victims have been reported missing from Hidden Springs, Idaho. 5 victims within a week. The missing persons are all children between the ages of 11 and 14 who were commonly known to play together. Reports from police after speaking with the parents of the missing children reveals little more than the kids had little supervision, and each child went missing somewhere between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Wanting to avoid widespread panic, pranksters, or copycats across the country, local government officials have unsuccessfully attempted to handle the situation on their own. At 1700, a friendly, Sister Natalie Brooks, reached out to Oblivion. Due to the sensitivity of the matter, only small arms and discreet tools are available for requisition. Your FBI cover alias and documentation is in this briefing folder, as well as your commercial flight tickets. Good luck, agents. With these mission specs fresh in your memory, you 4 sit together, 2 front and 2 behind, on a commercial flight, landing shortly in Boise. So, as the
first class, I assume.
How about we do our very first roll for funsies?
You roll low and put us like
economy.
We're at the very back of the plane.
Let's do a tradecraft roll. You're going to roll the actual trait die, and you, as a wild card, you will roll a d6 as well. Your wild die.
Sweet.
So roll them both.
So they are both a3. Does that do anything for me?
So the target number for every roll is a 4. Now, if you'd like to spend one of your bennies, you'd be welcome to re-roll.
All right, well, I don't want to use one of my only 2 bennies on our thing, so looks like we're not first class.
Here, I'll throw it to the group. You guys are also welcome to make your own tradecraft rolls, and we'll see if one of your agents just, maybe he ticked off the director and wasn't able to get his.
Got a 3 on the D4 and then a 6 on the D6.
6 on a 6, roll it again.
Is that
That's
for my
5.
ticket? The second one?
We'll see how many raises she gets.
That was a 5 for the second roll.
All right, so that's a total of 11, which is a success with 1 raise. How did the others do?
I got a 4.
double ones.
A 4
And
is
a
a
3.
success. Did you say double ones?
I think he did.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh no!
So-
He's the one that pissed off our boss.
Apparently.
I'm gonna throw names out, but we're gonna get introductions in just a moment. So E, yeah, you're easily exactly where you need to be. First class ticket, sitting pretty on your way on this. It's a commercial flight, you know, it just means that you have more leg room, but it's comfortable. ESP, you got a success with a raise, so you certainly are all set to go. That raise will allow you to bring 13. Maybe you were able to get that figured out, whatever that was going on, so that will allow you to bring 13 to his first class ticket. Mycroft, what happened?
He just pissed off the director like he always does.
He's got the seat by the toilets back at the end of the plane.
I'll have you know that's actually where I prefer to sit.
As like by the jet, it's just rumbling in his ears. He can barely hear anything. So we know now where you're sitting. So as the metaphorical camera kind of zooms out a bit, what do we see of the four of you? Let's start with ESP and her fantastic role. So what do we see as we look at you on this plane?
What you see is girl with curly red hair bob, big glasses, big hoop earrings, very eccentric vibe. She has a little lace doily that she's put over the top of her tray in front of her with a saucer and a teacup on top of it, already filled from a flask of tea she managed to bring onto the plane.
You know, no one stopped you from bringing that tea onto the plane.
No one
TSA
was
did
going to
not
stop me.
check that. Fantastic. E, let's move over to you. What do we see as we see you on this plane?
She's got her fancy little tray out and she's got her laptop set up on there. And she has longer black hair that's down at the moment. She's got her blue hoodie on and her noise canceling headphones on, and she is watching some sort of TV show about conspiracy theories on her laptop, and she's got her nice neck pillow and she is cozied in for the flight and zoned in on her show.
Perfect. And nearby we have 13. What does that look like as the camera kind of swoops over to you?
Yeah, so he has a baseball cap on, glasses. He has a suit and a very messed up tie. His hair also is longish and is being maintained by the hat that he has on. Has shoes that have quite a bit of, they're like sneakers. They aren't actual dress shoes, even though he has a dressy like apparel, mainly because he kind of feels like he has to. But his shoes are more like sneakers that have holes in it, so you can see his socks through parts of his shoes. He's just sitting there reading the case file, and yeah, he doesn't have like a computer or anything like that. He's just reading the notes that were left there. And I imagine that his gun has been checked through or whatever. I don't know how planes work that. In theory, he has a gun either on him or it's in like the hatch thing above them.
With ESP's success in arrays, like maybe she might be able to figure it out. You'll get your stuff back, but she might have been able to figure out. That's up to her if she took it or not. And last but certainly, some people are just charming. Some people know how to make the director do what they want. Last but certainly not least, Mycroft. What's happening in the back of the plane by the jet and the restroom and noisy kids, and how's it going back there? What do we see?
I'm enjoying my privacy, and here in the back of the plane, I'm dressed in a light blue shirt with a beige suit jacket over it. I have a book open in front of me, and I also have tucked in close to myself, I've already read them multiple times, the case files.
Perfect. You said you had a book in front of you?
I do. It's The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
I love it. You're sitting there reading it, and your seat, the book gets jolted as the seat in front of you kind of pushes back, and there's a screaming child who's like looking over and like pointing at you, and it's like a snotty nose just staring.
I ignore it.
Excellent. I want to make you roll something for
Very
it, but
absorbed.
I'm gonna let your double one sit there. Luckily, it's not that long of a flight. You guys touch down in Boise, Idaho's airport that evening, and you are soon collected by a woman. She looks to be in her early 40s. Her hair is covered with this blue opaque veil, and she's wearing this thick white coat. She's bundled up in it. It is Sister Natalie Brooks. She welcomes you, and she is your escort. She drives you from the airport in this car. It's a little too sweet smelling with this vanilla scent, but she takes you to the neighborhood called Hidden Springs. And on the way, she explains the situation in some greater detail. And first she says, "I'm sorry about the smell. A very kind parent at St. Mary's where I teach gave me car fresheners, and I didn't realize how potent they are. Anyway, as you know, children have been going missing in Hidden Springs. 5 in the past week. And for a small town that can gain Hidden Springs a lot of unnecessary attention. And thankfully, the Pumpkin Festival is bigger news to the city for now, but if these strange circumstances get broader attention, then I think more children could be in danger. And the police mentioned pranksters and copycat criminals, and other heinous things. The only connection anyone can see is that these children would play together, and none of them seem prone to just running away. But no investigation has shown any break-ins, and that's all we really know.
That's not a whole lot to go on, is it?
She just sadly shakes her head. Afraid not.
And you said 5 of them went missing in a week. That's very quick.
I agree. It's awful.
Absolutely awful.
Wait, did she tell us where she's, like, do we know exactly where we're driving to right now? Like, headed?
You are headed to the town of Hidden Springs, but as you guys are getting closer, she does say that she will happily take you wherever it is you need to go. She doesn't have specific orders to take you somewhere, but wherever it is you'd like to go, she would be happy to drop you off.
Sister Brooks, I am curious if these, correct me if I'm wrong, these children were not all kidnapped at the same time, if it was in fact a kidnapping. So when were they all, when did they all disappear?
It was over the course, I guess, of a few days, of these days, of the week. Sometime in the evening, I think they said. Sometime overnight.
Between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. usually, I think is what the notes said.
That makes sense, considering they were
Yes, but
here one evening and gone the next morning.
this happened consecutively over multiple days. That's very interesting.
Right. And the police don't seem to have any other information. It almost feels like they gave up. Can everyone please give me a notice roll, please?
Cool. I got a 4.
I got an 8 on my d8s. Let's roll that again.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's a good D8.
Last time it
These
was the
guys like me.
D6. It's
And that was another 8. We're going again.
Woo!
All right, calm down.
Keep track, keep track.
All right, the last one was a 4.
Okay, that's a
So
20.
that's-
All right, we have a 4, we have a 20.
I got a 6 on my d6. With my hindrances, I have a -4 to notice sounds. So just don't forget that.
But this is not a notice for hearing. This is for seeing. So did you roll the D6 again?
Yes, I got a 4.
Okay, so it's a 10. I don't think anyone failed, right?
what did Mycroft get?
I got a 6.
So as you guys are driving, you notice you're coming into the town, and you're seeing different decorations out and about, but it is just around, Halloween time. So, if these decorations have not been up for the last 2 months already anyway, then it was time for the decorations to go up. And you see that there are posters and flyers up as well on a number of street signs, on a number of telephone poles. They are these bright and attractive signs, as if a lot of money were spent on this marketing venture. They're orange signs with big, bubbly font, made to look like each letter is dripping, almost like they're dripping blood to make it look kind of spooky, but also it's still bubbly, so the kids aren't scared. And each one reads, "The annual Pumpkin Festival, rides, games, and the famous Pumpkin Contest. Join us for a week of pumpkin spice and everything nice." And you see these signs up all over the town.
When is that
I was about to
happening?
call her by her name. It's happening right now, in fact.
Okay, currently.
Yes. ESP, you are full aware that this is going on right now. It is, in fact, the second day of the festivities that are happening in the Boise area. As Sister Natalie is getting into the town, she does ask where you guys would like to be dropped off.
Well, where were they all taken from exactly? Do you know?
I know at least one, but they're all just neighborhood children. She kind of gestures around. It's not a gigantic. There is one area, and she did drive closer to this one area of the town. As you were coming in, and you could almost still see in the distance, it's these cornfields out and about. And far off, you can see some mountain, but all nearby in this area, it seems to be just surrounded by cornfield.
Well, I think we should either start with where the known person went missing or talk to their family.
They all went missing from their homes. I imagine you've got names and such, but one of them, well, she's a student of mine, actually. Her name is Gabriella Johnson. Did you want me to drop you off at her parents' house?
I think that would be a decent place to start.
Okay. And you can see an air of sadness has taken her as she picks up and starts in that direction.
He still
and it does-
has her headphones on, right? Okay, 13's just kind of gonna gesture a little bit.
Mm,
Can you hear what's happening?
no.
Do you not want to hear what we're talking about?
Oh, I didn't know we were talking about anything important. And she'll take one headphone and move it to the side. What's going on?
We're discussing where we're going to begin.
Oh, okay. We can start wherever.
All right, then take us to that child's house.
Gabriella.
So it doesn't take long. In a few minutes, you guys are pulling up in front of this cozy looking house. It's got this kind of, it's on the lawn. You can see it's mainly like autumn decor than anything else. A lot of signs for like happy autumn and, you know, the wreaths of gold and red leaves. She stops the car and she lets you guys out and she thanks you again for what you're doing. Whatever's happening, I'm not gonna ask any questions. I know better, but thank you for answering the call. Really, thank you so much.
Wait, are you leaving?
I wasn't told to be involved any further. I don't know
Too many
much
for
about
civilian
what
to be involved.
Well, we don't need a civilian involved, but we probably need a car. She drove us, right? Do we just not have a car in
here.
this small town?
It's very small. We could probably walk.
it is quite
You got
small.
2 legs, you can walk.
I'm
I'm
just
sure
imagining
won't
that there's
be
not
a
many
problem.
taxis.
Just call an
We
Uber
won't
to go
need that.
3
That-
houses down.
That'll be. This will be most sufficient. Sister Brooks, thank you very much.
We could
And
have just got a
I'm sure we have your information if we need to contact you again for any reason.
I really hope you won't need to. I generally am told, well, the only other time I've had contact with you guys, I was told it wouldn't need to happen again. But yes, I guess if you did need me,
What was surrounding the situation then?
I was also told not to talk about it.
I
That
would
is
like
understandable
to-
protocol.
to read her mind and see what this case was about.
Yes.
Okay? Mind reading, eh?
Indeed. That is a 9.
A 9 is much better than a 1.
And then,
Wonderful.
well, I was gonna say, so I don't think 13 knows she can read mine, and I do see persuasion is on here. So at the very least, to keep her mind on that file, 13's continuing trying to persuade, saying, well, I think it's fine for us to know.
Persuasion, it's going to be another opposed
Okay.
roll. Double
Well,
check. but
I
it
got
seems
double
to track.
3s. What is this?
Listen, the dice
Okay,
know
well,
what you're supposed to be
Hopefully
doing
she
today.
just scrolls low if it's opposed.
That's another 1.
Aha! So persuasive, we're gonna get both sides of the story.
That's wild though, because it's an opposed roll, so that means the target number is different. It's not a 4, it's just better than her. So you're trying to get her to tell it to you, or you're trying to get her just you're
he's-
trying because you don't know about the
Yeah,
mind
he's
reading.
trying to get like verbally as much information as he can. Meanwhile,
Sure.
ESP's going to be mentally getting.
There are no raises, but it is a success. So she starts to tell you, 13, about, she just kind of very staccato is mentioned an incident at during one of our weekend events at the school. We were in the middle of so it's a Catholic school. We do prayer together, and something funny was going on. It just seemed very out of the ordinary, which is why we, your organization will show up, and that's literally all I know about your organization, except that you handle these things very well. Forces I don't like to so much give credence or mention to very much. ESP, your mind reading, does it just give you the information, or?
It allows me to gain one truthful answer from the subject.
As far as she understands of what was going on, you see her recalling this incident. There's a small group of students and her in this like small room There are some chairs set up. There are some cushions on the ground. The students are kneeling on these cushions, and you can see, like, the walls are shaking, things are falling off of the walls, and the room is just, like, darkening, just getting darker and darker until it's, like, pitch black. You get a lot of sense of, like, if there's fear, there's this, like, still unyielding sense of hope in there, but there's a lot of fear as, like, she's just huddled with the kids, like, trying to get them, like, out of the room. At some point, people came in and were handling the situation.
And when she was saying that all to 13, he had this little notebook that he was making notes of for what she was saying.
You're just taking note as she speaks.
Yeah.
She's, okay. With the one, she won't, like, you clearly get the sense that she finds that very uncomfortable, but also you are part of Oblivion, and again, she doesn't want to know anymore about what you guys do. She's perfectly content to have been like, that's the last of it.
Did anything visual happen while ESP was reading her mind?
So let's
or
talk
was she
about
just, like, staring daggers into her.
ESP just glows and nobody questions it.
What are the trappings, as we call them, for this particular power? What are the trappings?
So she puts her hand up by her temple, sort of discreetly, as though focusing her psionic power, and there would have been a little, hardly noticeable pulse that went out around, like a little bit of energy being released. Sister is aware of the intrusion on her mind.
Is she?
Yes, because I didn't get a raise.
Ooh.
Ah, okay. Excellent. Good to know. She gives that account to you, 13. She now looks decidedly more nervous and, like, a little upset for having recalled the incident, but she again thanks you, and she will get back in her car and hope that no one talks to her again so she may drive away. She wants very little to do. She appreciates it. You get the sense she definitely appreciates you being here, but she wants very little to do with more of this.
Why did you have to badger her like that, Claire? Honestly.
It's what I do. I get answers. I didn't see you getting anything.
Well, I got something.
It is not relevant to our current case.
It could be. How do you know it's not?
We have a course of action, and we should follow that to its proper end.
Well, gathering information is part of that course of action. If there is history here, we should know about it.
Exactly. Maybe the case from before is tied to this one.
Wait, but what did you do?
Oh, I read her mind.
Well, that's handy.
It is, isn't it? I can read yours as well.
That's less handy.
Oh, is it?
Have a penny.
Claire all over, being less handy.
Wait, who's having a penny?
13, have a penny.
Oh.
We're gonna fix that unlucky streak of yours. You guys are too much.
Did you enjoy the back of the plane, Pierre?
I did. It was very beneficial to my reading time. Oh, by the way, did you get that wildflower honey I left on your desk? It's beneficial for folks with weak constitutions like yourself.
I'm going to ignore that. Don't we have someone to interview?
Well, before we do that, if you can read minds, should we figure out what we actually bring to the table collectively? Admittedly, I've not worked with any of you before.
Well, I mean, he just brings his bad attitude, so.
Okay, so we have bad attitude. We have mind reading. What else do we have?
I'm good with computers, technology, that sort of thing.
Are you able to get into Oblivion's database?
I tried to. That's kind of how they picked me up.
So, currently not? I'm wondering if you can find the case file for what the lady mentioned.
I can try. I might have more access now that I'm a part of the group.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm more I've trained more for combat and protecting during combat, so hopefully there won't be any need for it, but if we do have a fight happen, I have some medical training as well as protection.
Excellent. Good for those of us with weak constitutions.
Yes, maybe this time I won't have to be the one to save you then. I can leave it to this guy.
So
I myself am one of the greatest detectives of our
Here
time.
we go.
Is that
Okay.
self-proclaimed?
It is very much self-proclaimed.
So none of those sounded like people skills, though? Who should be talking to the parents?
Oh, I'm decent with people. I just ask a lot of questions. Like,
Okay.
why do you always wear those headphones, and why do you dress like that when we're supposed to be dressed formal? And I've already asked him all my questions.
He just kind of looks down.
Why do your shoes have holes in them? Why can we see your socks? What's up with the hair? That's not regulation, is it?
Oh yeah, there's also slight bits of green laced to his hair because the last time he dyed his hair, it still hasn't come out. So it's black, but it's got like green at the edges coming undone.
I think you are a bit of a hypocrite for criticizing others on the way they dress.
Well,
Yeah, well, within regulations.
these shoes have gone through a lot, and I haven't died while wearing them, so
Oh, so you're superstitious.
I've
Interesting.
been quite misfortunate so far in my life, so anything with a hint of luck to it, I cling to.
Right. You guys might be someone with worse luck than you. And you, E, yes, I know your name. We have your name in the file, but why do you wear the phones all the time?
I just like having them. It's nice to have a little background music.
It's
Doesn't it
interesting.
impede your ability to investigate and do things?
Not when I care enough to take them off.
And how often does that happen, may I ask?
Guess we'll find out. Depends on the day. Depends on the mission. Depends on my job within that mission.
Is
But
it common
should we-
knowledge anything about like this festival that's happening, or can I make like how long it lasts, what should like happens throughout it, or can I make common knowledge roll about it or whatever? I don't know.
You may
I got a 4 on my D4, so that's I can roll,
roll
it again.
Yes, sir.
And got a 2, so
Ace!
6.
Okay, yeah, the Pumpkin Festival, you know, a lot of places will have events around Halloween time. This one happens to be a pretty popular one, especially in this region, especially in this state, obviously. And it's a week-long festival. You know that the shining event of this festival every year is, you know, the pumpkin growing contest. A lot of people go to see these like gigantic pumpkins. Like it's absurd how large they manage to grow these pumpkins. That is one of the like critical events. But there's booths and there's games. There's, you know,
Is there a prize for
standard
the biggest
fare.
pumpkin?
It is a trophy and, you know, some amount of cash prize.
But not like a particularly large amount of cash?
Like it's not like millions. It's not.
Yeah, I'm not
Thousands.
seeing
It's-
millions.
It's probably
but
some. It maybe get you like
I
and
wonder if it's
you know,
enough for a child like
$500.
fertilizer
Ta-da.
attempt.
There you go. A child fertilizer attempt. Darkness.
I'm trying to connect the
Oh,
dots
and
here.
yes. And yet, you know, I'm not even mad about that. That's a vibe. That's a spooky
Desperate
vibe.
times gotta have the biggest pumpkin. Some kids are gonna have to go.
Soylent Green is pumpkins. Yes, but there's a decent cash prize, like $500 and trophy and bragging rights.
So maybe 2 of us should go and talk to the parents. Another 2 should look at the child's room. That could be telling. Or should we figure out where the kid probably was taken from? I'm guessing from his bedroom. Or her bedroom. If it's like Shelby, wasn't it?
Alright, this is Gabriella's house.
Gabriella.
I'm guessing this kid probably has a device, so I would like to take a look at him and see if there's anything interesting. So I'm happy to go and look in the kid's room.
Alright. Mycroft, are you better at seeing clues in an environment or better at talking to people?
I am pretty decent at both, but I would say my skills are best lies within the noticing clues in an environment, as you put it.
Do you want to go with E then, and ESP can talk to the parents?
She does like to talk, so yes, I think I will join E.
I'll get the answers. You go have fun looking for clues. Maybe there'll be some Blue's Clues.
One day I'll understand her pitiful attempts at insults.
The only pitiful attempt at an
Alright, shall
insult is
we?
you.
I think she's
He's
putting you in the shoes of a Steve character.
Well, I don't much care, because I don't know the reference.
Of course
He's
you
gonna
don't.
like look back and forth between them and then just put her headphone back on and shake her head.
All right.
I guess 13 would knock on the door. Somebody needs to anyway.
So, okay. Yeah.
Or if it has a bell,
He's
he'll
not
do the bell if
talking.
he sees that.
It's up to you. So 13 and ESP are going up to the door.
I think we're all going
Well,
up to the
yeah, 'cause
door.
I don't think they're gonna sneak into the house. These two.
I'm not gonna break in through a window.
I don't
We
know.
can go through the door.
I was so wrapped up in where this conversation might have been going. Who knows? Alright, so you go up to the door and you knock.
Or ring the
Yeah.
bell, whichever. Like, if there's a bell, her
Sure.
ring it. Otherwise, her knock.
There's a little bell. It's decorated with some little pumpkin stickers nearby. Cute. Yeah, you ring the bell and you wait for a minute. It's a nice house. You're just observing. You know, they've got their autumn decorations out. Up here on the porch, you can see some little planters. You realize that they're fake and there's like little pumpkins growing out of them. Wait another minute. No one answers.
Can we see if there's like a car in the driveway? Or is there a garage? One or the other.
There's a driveway and there are 2 cars parked there.
He's gonna ring again.
While
Maybe
they're
knock,
waiting,
too.
E is kind of like looking around at like if they have a satellite dish for TV or like the wires coming from the telephone poles, seeing if there's anything abnormal there, if there's extra wiring coming into the house that shouldn't be, or something besides internet or power, things like that.
Give me a notice roll.
I rolled a 6 on my d6.
Yeah.
And a 3, so 9.
I was just wondering what would happen if she rolled a double 1. A flare goes off and she goes flying.
Now she can't hear or see. Yeah, you look around, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary about any wiring. They don't seem to have that lame satellite dishes. No, we are full cable people all the time. But you catch for a moment the curtain moves a little bit from one of the windows facing the front of the house.
She'll take her headphone off her ear and be like, I definitely see the curtain moving, so I think someone's in there.
What was the last name again?
Johnson.
Mr. or Mrs. Johnson. As he's knocking.
Don't get a response.
I would like to try the door and see if it is unlocked.
Oh shoot, my
I mean-
one weakness.
I mean,
We
small
forgot to
towns,
lock
it's
the
actually
door.
very common.
I imagine, but this door is locked.
Need to get in there.
What window did you see them at?
She'll point to the window.
Just one of the ones that are facing the front of the house.
He's gonna go over and knock on the window part of it. Like, just tap, not like aggressively, but just kind of like
Be careful to not trample the flower beds under the window there.
does his best.
There is
We're
no
here to
response.
talk about your daughter missing. Gabriella, can you open up? You're
Give me
impeding a
another
federal
persuasion check.
investigation.
Give me another persuasion check.
Oh, that's a 6 on a d6. And then another 6.
Oh my gosh. I was
And
about
then
to be
a
like, you have to
2,
beat us.
So 14.
That's better than the 9 you had to beat. That's a success and a raise. As you're tapping on the window and you're telling them about their daughter, those who are still by the door soon after hear the click and the turning and the slow opening of the door. A gentleman is standing there, looks well dressed. Maybe he came home from work, has a nice dress shirt on and some slacks. He sees who it is, eyes you for a moment, and then opens the door a little bit further. You're asking about Gabby?
Yes, sir, we are. We're here to talk to you about her unfortunate disappearance. My name is Pansy Page, and this is my team. We're here to hopefully get some answers to some questions so we can start figuring out what happened and get your daughter back to you if at all possible.
Quietly, 13's gonna like nudge her and be like, maybe you shouldn't sound so enthusiastic about his missing daughter.
Enthusiastic about getting her back home.
She just sounds like that all the time. Pay her no mind. Good day to you. Could we possibly come inside?
Oh, yes,
We just
that'd
have
be
a
nice,
few
too.
questions.
Yeah, come on in. And he opens the door further and lets you inside of this living room. The house in general, as you guys come inside, the house in general looks lived in, right? It's a comfortable looking house. It's got this tasteful mix of like autumn decor and children's art hanging up throughout. And you do see that there are some younger children who are sitting in a circle on the floor with a woman you can imagine is his wife, their mother. And they're sitting next to this little statuette, and the mother looks back over at you guys, and she's watching as you approach, and she finally stands and walks towards you and greets you a little more politely than that first cold interaction. The man introduces himself as Brett and his wife Rachel. I don't know what else what other information we can give. But if you think you've got something, I guess maybe it's a prayer answered.
Yes, my
What do you
name
need?
is Elliot, and Miss Pansy and myself have some questions for you and your wife. But if you could tell our other two associates where Gabby's room was and maybe the computer that she would have access to so that they can go and take a look at those.
Yeah, sure. We have it. Oh, Rach, could you show him the family room? And she nods and gestures for the other two to follow her. And she's wearing this very, like, simple top and skirt. She's got some slippers on, and she takes you into... So the living room, it's got, like, the couches and a little TV and such. This other room is a little more studious. There's some bookshelves, and you do see there's one desk that has a larger computer on it. So she brings you guys in there. And Brett mentions also that her bedroom is down the hall. And he assures you it's already been checked. Thankfully, they didn't go ransacking it, but it's been looked, so I don't know what else you're gonna find.
There's only one way to find out, and that is by looking. So I will go take a look.
E will put her headphone back on and sit down at the computer and start looking through it for anything important.
You guys have questions for the parents?
Yes, we do. Turn to Brett. So, we have a file on your daughter, but when I'm investigating cases like this, I really like to learn a little bit more about missing person from the parents themselves. Can you tell me about what she liked to do, the kids she hang out with that I know have also gone missing, and that's very tragic, very regretful. Can you tell me a little more about her, what she liked to do, what she was doing the night that she did go missing, and if there've been any... I want you to rack your brain here. I want you to think if there's anything out of the ordinary, anything strange, anything that just seemed off at all. It could be wild. It's Halloween. Tricks happen. Pranks happen. But anything at all that might have stood out to you that maybe you didn't think about before when talking to somebody or didn't think it was important. Anything could be important here.
He stops and he thinks, I mean, Gabby wasn't acting any stranger than any other kid excited about a big festival coming up. I mean, she and Sarah, one of her friends down the block, she and Sarah were probably up later than they should have been, just, picking out outfits and nail colors and all that. I think she wanted to dye her hair purple for Halloween, but
Was she a
step too far.
participant in anything for the festival?
They just like to, we'll take them up there. They get a day for it and get to enjoy the festival and have a good time.
And
They're just
nothing
kids.
out of the ordinary took place the night she went missing?
No, she came home, she had dinner.
No noises, flickering power, or power outage in general?
With what I'm paying, I sure hope not. But no, not anything like that. ESP and 13, give me a notice check, please.
Ooh, that's a double 2.
Double twos? No.
That's a 1 and a 5.
And a 5. A 5 is a success. As he's talking and 13 has started to grill him a little bit harder, just, trying to get some of that information out, you are listening and also kind of observing the room a little bit. And where Rachel had gone off to set up E, you see her shadow. Like, she's standing just beyond the doorway, maybe just listening in, but doesn't seem to want to make herself known again. But you can see that she is, very likely it is her standing there.
Miss Rachel, was it?
She slowly, first slow, and then makes her way out like she purposely, absolutely meant to be coming back in. Any progress? Did you find her yet? Of course not. There's hope.
We're working on that, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
We were just asking your husband, and he's been very helpful so far, but I wanted to ask you as well. Have you noticed anything strange, anything out of the ordinary, especially the night Gabriella went missing, or the night before she went missing, the day before? Weird shadows, noises, lights flickering, whatever might be a little bit strange or off. Just something unusual.
Look, hey, I don't want my child in any kind of trouble, okay? And you can tell she looks very anxious now. If the police can't figure out what's going on, I'm ready to just take it to social media or something. You know, they can't just give up on her this easily because they just assume she's some stereotype of a drugged out teenager. Look, that isn't Gabby at all. I'm telling you. I didn't think it was anyone in our neighborhood even.
I don't think she's anything like that at all. I'm not giving up on this case. That's why our team is here, to pick up where the police left off, you know? We're not going to give up. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. And to do that, we need to know a little bit more information. We need to know about anything you can think of that maybe the police didn't care about or you didn't think they would have wanted to hear. We don't think Gabby is some drugged out, drinking teenager who just decided to run off. We think she went missing under mysterious circumstances, and that needs to be investigated. If there's anything you can tell us. Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a 6 on a d6, and then a 5 for an 11.
Okay, that is a success and a raise. She still looks incredibly anxious, and she's, you know, biting her nail and kind of shaking a little bit. Well, she had this kind of funny smell on her the night she went missing. When she came home that night, I don't know what it was, but it didn't smell like, you know.
It smelled like alcohol or something?
No,
I don't think it did. I just want to lie.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. It just smelled like different. I don't know. It's hard to say because she must have tried to cover it up with like perfume or something. I don't know. Vanilla and whatever that smell is just don't mix well at all. But she said her prayers so beautifully that night, and she even asked her dad to take her to confession, and not that means that. Don't worry about that. But this is all just it just reeks of something awful in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. You said a little bit of vanilla seems to be masking the smell?
Something like that, yeah. That sweet kind of cookie smell almost.
The one that fills all the candy shops at like Christmas time and things, you know, they're just like pumping that into the air and it's a little overwhelming. But some people seem to really love it, and I can't understand why they love it. But you know. Massive?
It's nice. It's a nice smell, but when it's too much or when it's mixed with whatever that was, it was...
So whatever it was it like something earthy, something sharp, something acidic, something musty?
I guess it was kind of earthy. And maybe a little like, I don't know, and she looks at her husband who's kind of eyeing her like he didn't really know this part either maybe, and he's maybe smoky almost? But she doesn't smoke anything, okay?
So more like burning wood, more like bonfire type smell than cigarette or tobacco smoke?
Yeah, sure. Maybe something like that.
Right.
Now, this is a small town. Has anyone of your neighbors kind of involved themselves since she's gone missing? Kind of interjecting themselves or visiting too often, checking in on you?
No, not really. I don't think so. People give their condolences. Everyone at her school and, you know, everyone at her church and friends and family. But
do you know the other missing children? Are you aware of them?
Of course.
Do they also go to the same church, or is it all just the same school?
No, they don't all. No. Only Mikey. He's the only one. Michael McHale. He and Gabriella are in the same class.
They're in the same class, but they don't all attend the same school?
No, just those two. They're in the same class at school. They go to school together.
Okay, but you don't know if the other ones all go to that school?
They don't, no. Gabriella, she explains, attends St. Mary's in Boise, which is also where Michael McHale goes. The other ones are probably at a local public school.
Question. I mean, we'll probably have more questions. Just one more to start. We know we've heard about some an unusual thing that happened at St. Mary's. What was it? Was it last year?
He's gonna check his note that he made about it. What year was it when he looks at it in his notebook?
Oh my goodness. This was probably like 7 or 8 years ago. It's a while back.
ESP, that was...
Let's give it a solid decade.
That was 10 years ago.
Okay.
While you guys figure out your next set of questions, let's hop over to E, who is on the computer. Are you searching something specific on the computer? That you have access to the computer itself, but...
She's gonna check the normal things, like search history, any sort of emails that are open or instant messaging things, social media accounts. She'll also try to go in and look at like the more technical aspects of the computer and see if there's any like notification of the computer being like hacked remotely or any sort of external influence on the computer.
So for the basics, looking at the social media pages and the previous history, give me an electronics roll.
5.
There are some assortment of websites. A lot of them are recently like costume sites. Spirit Halloween is up, and also a lot of Amazon. Numerous visits to Amazon, and there are many, many costumes. And all of them tend to be, like these very like sweet and wholesome, like these fairy costumes with these like long and really like swishy skirts, pirates costumes that have like black skirts, things that cover the legs and such. So you see a lot of that. The social media pages, you see a lot of pictures of her, not a ton. There are some pictures though, with her. There's another girl in a lot of them, you realize. She has blonde hair. She seems to be very like fashionista, this other girl, whereas Gabby, who's this very sweet looking girl, long brown hair, a kind of bassy toothed smile. She looks like the more, simply dressed of the two friends. And you see the tag, her social media tags, you see her name under @Coco, COCO _Saint77 is Gabriella's. And then the other girl who's in there, you see the tag is @10 Sarah's 01. So Sarah, but with an S at the end. 01. Give me a hacking roll to see if there has been any kind of intrusion other than you now.
6.
You don't see any other kind of malware, anything malicious like that. You don't see anything that seems like it's spying.
She'll go and look at the Sarah's social media pages and see if any other specific people or things pop out.
Sarah's is a lot fuller. There's a lot more pictures of her. It's her at school, it's her at the park, it's her at home, cute pictures, all that. You do see other friends tagged, and you see one picture seems to stand out. There's a picture of her. It looks like it's at one of these houses here in the neighborhood, because it looks just like, a similar style street. And you see her taking a picture, and she's holding up this card. And it's the only time you've seen something like this. It looks otherwise like a random card. And it looks like a tarot card, a queen, and you see these swords all around her. It says like, LOL, might delete later.
Was E given a phone for Gabby or said anything about a personal cell phone?
No, you weren't given one.
Okay, E will poke her head back in there and pull off her earphone and just say to, hey, parents, did Gabby have a cell phone I could look at?
They look at you as you peek up out of nowhere. Rachel tells you it's probably still in her room.
Okay, thanks. E will make her way to the room. As she walks through the doorway, she'll trip and kind of catch herself on the wall.
Have a Benny. And Mycroft, you're still with E while she's doing all this?
No, I'm in Gabby's room investigating.
You were in the room. Okay, you are looking about. Are you looking for something specific in the room, or are you just looking for anything that might seem out of place?
First, he's just going to look around, get a scope of the entire room, see what kind of things are in there, anything, see what pops out, see what stands out to him with just a first glance of the room.
It's very much a girl's room. It is this thick purple quilted covering. The drapes are these like faint pink drapes. Her closet is full of simple skirts, dresses, blouses, a little jewelry box. It seems pretty standard. You see her backpack is on the ground by her bed. Yeah, on just first blush, it looks pretty standard. But you can give me a notice roll if you would like to look deeper into it.
I would love to. That is double 6s.
Ooh, roll them both.
Make up for the double ones. Rerolling the d6 gets me a 5. So close to.
Okay, so that's 11. You are looking about, you're going through things. The first thing you notice is you peek into her backpack. It's half open anyway. And you see there is this little note sticking out from one of her folders. It's kind of half crinkled. And when you look at it, you see it's like stapled to a page of extra credit homework that she received from Sister Natalie, her teacher. And the note is detailing Sister Natalie's concern about her dropping attention in class, but the way she feels it must be is about the festival. You know, she's excited about the festival, so she just needs to pay closer attention. Here's extra credit to kind of get you going. The other thing you notice is further in the backpack. Your hand hits something. It's not very long. It's probably no longer than your hand. It looks like a bit of like a dark wrapping. It has a very natural, like almost bark look to it. It's tied together with a almost like kitchen twine. And one side of it, it's kind of cylindrical. One side of it looks burnt. And it's obviously been a little bit now, but when you hold it a little closer to your face, you do get this kind of earthy, smoky smell to it.
I will carefully unwrap it to see what is under the wrappings.
Sure. It just kind of starts to come apart. It looks like it's just bunches and bunches of like smaller, almost like twigs. Give me an occult roll, please.
Oh, I do have it.
How strange.
Unfortunately, the d8 was a 1, but I rolled a 4 on the d6.
That is a success. It kind of clicks in your mind. You're looking at a smudge stick, often used in certain types of rituals, ritual cleansings of things, or one thing or another. But it is a smudge stick that she appears to have been hiding. Just as our friend E comes into the room, pokes her head in. Hey, have you seen a cell phone?
Have I seen a cell phone?
You have. It's sitting on a side table that's just below the window by the bed.
Yes, it is on that table by the window, under the window.
Sweet, thanks. You should also keep an eye out for a diary of some sort, because I feel like I've never heard of a teenage girl who doesn't own a diary. And she'll put her headphone back on and go and pick up the phone and start looking through it.
You head over to the phone and you go ahead, pick it up. Give me an agility check. Just a straight up agility, please.
Don't break the phone.
That is a 2.
What is your agility?
Great.
Is that the one you get
Well,
minus
she
2
tripped
as well?
on nothing earlier.
-2 on athletics and stealth rolls.
Athletic. Well, you walk over there and you assume you walk over to the phone and manage to fall on your face. Luckily, it's a soft carpeted room. She's got this nice, well-kept and well-vacuumed carpet, except as you stand up and you're kind of brush yourself off, you notice something odd on your hands. And also now it's like a little bit on your shirt. There's this, you might mistake it for dirt, but it has a funny look to it.
You will kind of look at her hands, and then she'll just turn and look at Mycroft.
Oh,
She'll
are you
turn and
alright?
look at Mycroft and just
Here,
go,
let me give you a hand. What is that?
Dirt, you kind of see, instead of just this brown little flecks, you see brown little flecks that also appear to have, maybe it's just the light, but they almost seemed like there's little parts of it that glow a little, like this phosphorescent kind of glow, little speck.
You
That
will
is
like
intriguing.
wipe her hands off on her sweatshirt, and then she'll dig around in her bag to see if she has like a little canister of some sort, like for film or something.
Is there a reason you might have a little film canister?
Well, or like even like a little container for an SD card or something. Like she just is kind of a hoarder and has a bunch of random electronics, computer related technology things in her book bag.
Okay,
That
yeah,
makes
you
sense.
can find one of those little teeny cases and kind of like brush it off your finger into this little teeny case. Sure.
Yes. So she'll put some in a canister, and then she'll put it back in a specific like zipper pouch in her book bag so that she doesn't lose it.
Perfect.
And then she'll turn her attention back to the phone.
The phone also this one has a lock on it as well. You can give me a hacking roll if you want to get into the phone.
What kind of phone is it?
You know.
It's 7.
I mean, Android, iPhone, there's different phones
Oh, they're
in the world.
definitely Android users because they're top-notch people. Get out of here.
You'll
Minus
notice
pennies.
that all of E's things are Apple products.
Yeah.
Ew.
That was a 7.
Super simple to, boom, 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 you're in. She doesn't have a lot going on the phone. It seems to be mostly like a practical use, but it seems like the one thing maybe she was given permission to have was like an Instagram account that's potentially monitored by parents. But you see pictures. It's very simple pictures. It's a lot of like nature pictures that she likes to take.
Okay. Specifically, E's wanting to look through messages, especially if there's any messages between her and Sarah. And then she's also looking through the call log, seeing if there was any calls to or from unknown numbers, or even to and from Sarah.
You don't see any messages from anyone unknown. They all have names, anyone that she's spoken to, and it's not a lot. There are messages with her and Sarah, but they do appear to be pretty basic, hey, this test was really hard. Hey, that boy was kind of cute. Hey, I got this new outfit. I finally decided on my Halloween costume. This nail color is amazing. I can't afford it. Things like that.
Okay. She'll put the phone back down on the side table and just kind of look around the room to see if there's any other electronic things that she can mess around with.
Pretty sparse in here.
First, I want to look to see if there's a source of the little brown flecks that glow slightly.
Like, do they appear to originate from somewhere, or do you want to know what they are themselves?
Well, both. But first, he's going to look around for more of it.
Now that you can see it and you know what you're looking for, it's pretty easy to see that they're accumulated around the night table, which is near her window, and you do spot a couple flecks on the windowsill itself.
And do I have any guess of what it could be?
Give me a science roll.
This is what I do. Double 3s.
You are unfamiliar.
Somewhat
as to
what you
this
do.
may be.
Can only be so good.
Oh well.
Because he's not the best detective.
I would also like to look for a diary, as that was suggested, and that is a good idea. I would also like to do that.
Yeah, you find a journal, diary. It's not locked or anything. It's got a cute pink kind of faux leather cover and stickers on it, but it looks like it's spotty as far as when it's been used, just on and off, whenever she had some kind of feeling about something or other. You do see a recent entry that is mainly her, bulleting thoughts. I got this thing from Logan. No, I think I'm gonna throw it out. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna throw it out. It kind of smelled cool. I'm gonna throw it out. I need to go to I can't wait for Sunday. Kind of scattered thoughts.
E's gonna pull out her phone and try to just search the internet for weird kind of glowy dirt and see what she can find out, or if there's a database that Oblivion has of extraterrestrial substances or something like that.
If you're using your...
She's searching for dirt.
She sure is. If you're using your Oblivion phone, you can give me a charade craft roll, and while you do that, we're gonna hop over real quick back to our other two, 13 and ESP. Do you guys have other questions for the parents?
Are the kids still around? The other kids who had been in the room?
I'm gonna say that Rachel had the wherewithal to send them to the backyard or something before she mentioned, her little rant about druggy teens.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to just ask, Gabby had some siblings, I'd love to ask them just a question or two. I'll keep it very basic, very simple. Just want to know, sometimes siblings notice things that parents might not, or they might hear something from a child, from their sibling that they might not tell their parents. Kids are. Can I just ask them a question or two before we leave?
I'd really rather you keep the kids out of this.
Okay.
Well, it would potentially help us find Gabriella. Persuasion?
You can roll a persuasion with a -2 penalty.
Why?
As she seems fiercely protective.
Protect the one child to lose the other.
Dang.
Okay, that
You already
one
got
fell
her
off
to
the
talk
floor.
about...
Judgy.
All right, so that's going to be a 1. Wait, I can use a Benny though. Which one do you re-roll for that?
You can re-roll the whole thing.
Yeah, that's still not great. I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay, I'm really close. I got a 5 that time. minus, well,
Five
5
minus
minus
two.
2, so it's a 3. I'm gonna drop down to 1 because, to be honest, this is the only use I know of Betty's right now. So that's another 1. So
Excellent. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, she seems very much like she gave you everything she knows, and the kids don't know anything more.
looking around, do they have any kind of security system?
Nothing obvious. There's not like cameras or whatever. I'll say that they've got that lawn sign that's like protected by like
ADP. So, do you actually have ADP set up in this house?
Well, we certainly should.
I see. So it was another one of just leaving the sign or sticker up. It's okay. We see it all the time.
He looks down shamefully.
Well, if we can't talk with her, maybe should we go see what the others have found?
Compare notes. Thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll be out of your hair soon, and we can, even more hopefully, we'll find your daughter and bring her back. That is our goal, and we're not giving up. We're not going to be like those police who just give up.
Oh,
We're
in
here.
case we need to contact you, actually, what is your phone numbers?
And she'll hesitantly give you, standard information.
555.
contact.
And then what else?
Question for the game master? Or do we have the names of all the missing kids?
Why, yes.
Can I please have that information?
Surely. Profiles. There's the basic information, and only so much I was going to put on a thing. But this is Gabriella, age 14, born September 15th, 2009. Gardening, science, religion interests. She's the one you're
Quite
currently
the
investigating.
14-year-old.
She's pretty smart, this one. She's a smart cookie. We have, as you've already met, or you've seen about her, Sarah Carter, age 13, born March 16th, 2010. Interests in games, jewelry, and history.
Sorry, can you go back to Gabriella for 1 second?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. There's Gabriella, everyone.
There you go, Gabriella. We have Sarah Carter.
Is that the same Sarah that he's been seeing in the pictures?
That is the same girl, yes.
Okay.
We have Michael McHale.
I thought it was Michael Jackson for a second because I saw the Michael and the J-A.
Oh dear. No, it is not. We have Lucas Sullivan, age 11, date of birth January 29th, 2012, with interests in writing, photography, and video games. I realize I didn't say the ones for Michael. Age 14, date of birth August 4th, 2009, interests in video games, sports, and debate. And the last of the 5, we have Eugene Brown, age 12, date of birth July 9th, 2011, interests in sports, puzzles, and cooking. You now have names and leads.
What order did they go missing in?
Let's say the order that I showed them to you.
First to last, or last to first?
Is that really a question?
So Gabby went
Yeah.
missing first. And then Sarah and Michael, Lucas, Eugene.
Okay, so
yeah,
we
let's do that. It's super pertinent to the case.
I mean, order of loss is usually a good way of following up. Your information is freshest with the last person, then the first person. More things could have been gone by then. So it is kind of pertinent. I watched a lot of
at me
Criminal
learning.
Minds.
I'm just gonna start binge watching Criminal Minds when we're done here.
Let me know when you're ready for that dirt roll.
Excellent. Let's do the dirt roll because I think they've gotten all they can from the parents, and they're gonna go meet up with y'all anyway.
On my wild dice, I rolled a 6, and then a 6, and then a 3, so 15.
Okay. You love to see it. You start to find a lead. Really excited. You've seen other situations with not precisely this look. It wasn't in dirt, but you've seen other kind of phosphorescent, almost like spectral, maybe trail. The problem is that the rank level that you are, it's kind of tricky to follow up very deeply. But with 2 raises, you can get a level above what you normally are able to see, what you normally have access to. And this seems to be leaning more into, I don't know, supernatural might seem weird, but also it seems like the cases start looking one way and lead into something else. So the dirt connection might be very specific to this. You don't see that in other places, but this kind of glowing, this aura is you do see it come up a few times.
In
So Oblivion might
supernatural
know.
situations.
Gives you a little hint of the supernatural. Something not quite ordinary.
After she's finished with that, if nothing else is going on, she's just gonna start playing games on her phone.
Well, I think ESP and 13 probably would have walked in once you're done with that.
I also have 2 other things I want to look for.
Okay. What you got? As the other 2 are coming. What you got?
I want to look through her jewelry and perfumes.
Are you looking for something specific? She's got some pretty basic chains with little cute pendants. There's butterflies. There's a couple that are these pretty crucifixes. She's got others that are these like cute entwined hearts. She doesn't wear a lot of rings, but she's got some other like charm bracelets, things like that. And then what else did you want to look at?
Perfumes.
Perfumes. She doesn't wear perfume.
Alrighty.
So have you
Or I
guys
should
found
say you don't
anything in
find
here?
perfume.
Either of you found something?
If they're lost in their own world, seems to happen a lot. I'll have to hear more of that super focused coffee that he likes to drink. Maybe that'll actually let him focus on a case.
Well, unlike you, I haven't just been talking my head off this whole time. I have indeed found something quite interesting in this backpack over here, and he'll show them the smudge stick.
13's gonna move one of the earpieces off of E. So she could...
She'll look at him and just be like, I was listening to a very good song, I'll have you know. And she'll pull her phone out of her pocket and pause her music.
Yes, well, we're compiling our notes.
I mean, we probably want to compile most notes outside of the house. We could talk a little bit here.
Okay. What little bit are we talking about here?
Well, why don't you tell us what they found here? Do we need to bring anything? Do we find any evidence that we need to take with us back to wherever we're going to be making our home base?
I think we will take with us this smudge stick as well as this note about her dropping attention. I think that could be potentially relevant to her disappearance.
Dropping what?
Attention. She hasn't been paying attention in her classes as well as she usually does.
You'd know all about that.
Oh, sorry, did you say something? I must have missed it.
Okay, what
Right.
about on the computer? Anything like that?
Nothing too exciting. Gabriella and Sarah, who Sarah's another one of the missing kids, seem to be pretty close friends. I took a look through their social media accounts. Nothing super crazy stood out. Sarah seems to be more of an outgoing person, posts a lot more. She did post a picture, looked like it was in the neighborhood, of her in front of a house holding up a tarot card. It's the Queen of Swords. She said, LOL might delete later. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. Also found this like weird glowy dirt stuff, and E will like point to it. And then she'll just gesture to her backpack and say, you know, I already got a sample, so we can do stuff with it later. I did some research on my phone, and Oblivion seems to have noticed some samples of things similar to this, with this like phosphorescent glow to it. Seems to lead into more supernatural type things, but the information I could find at the moment wasn't very telling.
Okay,
Blocking us again.
did she have any kind of cell phone here?
Yeah, it wasn't very exciting. There's nothing on the cell phone that I didn't already find on the computer.
What kind of phone is it?
It's an Android.
Oh,
Oh, androids.
I thought if she had an iPhone,
Minus
we could have
pennies for
tried.
all of you.
We could have tried the Find Your Friend app if she had an iPhone. We might have been able to find the other person sooner.
Well, surely our hacker here would be able to do that kind of thing without an app.
Actually,
you?
now that you mention that, E will go back to the phone and see if she has Snapchat.
She does not have Snapchat.
Man, this kid's kind of a loser.
Wait,
when
you
it
said
comes
that
to
she had
Snapchat.
Facebook?
What social media
Instagram.
accounts was I looking at?
Oh,
Instagram?
That's it?
Yep.
Tell me a 13-year-old doesn't have a Facebook. Like,
Not
Not
all-
this 13
This
year old.
day.
A lot of
This
younger,
is
for
a lot of
old
younger
people.
kids don't have Facebook, but they do have TikTok.
TikTok and Snapchat.
TikTok is where the younger kids
No
are.
Snapchat.
Well,
it makes me think
And
that maybe
Snapchat.
parents are a little bit stricter.
Well, if the Chinese can view the TikToks, can't you get in there?
I mean, I could look at
Not
TikTok,
if she doesn't
but
have any.
if she doesn't have it, it doesn't really help
Oh,
us.
I thought maybe she may have also had that.
Parents do seem strict.
The picture with the house, you said that there was a house. Can you
Yeah.
run a search as to which house in the neighborhood that is?
Whenever E saw it on the computer, she did like take a screenshot of it and send it to her phone. So she'll pull it up on her phone and look and see if she can see any defining features in it, like a house number, a street name, water tower in the background, hidden school, any other businesses like that in the background.
Shall we head out, or instead of having this conversation in her bedroom?
Sounds
That'd
like
be
a plan to
wise. You have a
me.
good idea.
I got the parents'
will-
numbers in
Quite
case
a
we
lot,
need to
actually.
contact them, so.
He's gonna kind of
good.
like look back
Glad
between
one of
the
you
two
did
of
something
them
useful.
again, Peter and
Wait,
I
what
guess
happened?
E, and just be like, "You guys need to figure it out. I don't know what this is, but..." And she'll like put her headphone back on and turn her music back on and just walk out the door.
From
First, I'm gonna have E give me another electronics roll.
6 to 8.
You calculate and you look about and you are able to spot it is definitely one of the nearby houses in this little part of the neighborhood. It's further towards not quite an edge, but it's further near where those surrounding cornfields are, and it does appear to line up with your other data. Well, actually no, that's not in the data, but it appears to be the home of Richard and Antonia Green.
She'll do a quick search of those names as well to see if anything like news articles, anything important pops up.
That easy enough. Immediately, the very person that pops up, Richard Green, appears to be one of the main competitors in this big pumpkin festival. He's won numerous times. He's up there with the competition. It was a lot between him and this one other person for a long time. And the other recent event that was big-ish news was you find an obituary for his wife, Antonia.
She's gonna cross-check the date of the posting of that picture and the date of the obituary and see if which one happened before the other one.
The wife's passing was 5 years before this. The picture from the phone was like the last week.
Is she telling us about this as we're walking out of the house?
I sure hope so.
At the moment, no, she's in the zone. She's
I'll
also
text you later.
She's also going to search the Queen of Hearts or Queen of Swords tarot card and see what the significance of that is.
And before they leave, 13's also going to leave his card with the parents and say goodbye to them, so that way they can contact them if they think of anything else.
They'll take it and thank you for it. Is it like your...
It's like a standard business card.
For FBI agents, like, yeah, contact me. If you find anything, ma'am, I'm here to help. Sorry, she was, E was looking for what?
Significance of the Queen of Swords tarot card.
There doesn't, I mean...
There doesn't appear to be.
Whatever it might be, it appears that at the very least, as far as it's significant to Sarah, you don't see any kind of other history of it about with her. It seems like, oh, it was a cool card and someone gave it to me. Cool.
Okay.
Here's a pic.
It does represent intelligence, wit, honesty, and candidness. The importance of making judgment without relying on emotion alone, being realistic, discerning, or skeptical, receiving helpful criticism from someone, independence of an open mind, having a delightful sense of humor, diffusing awkward
lot of things.
situations with a funny remark, never taking anything too seriously, laughing at everything including oneself, and being experienced.
So pretty much whatever you need it to mean.
Thank you for that.
From
Now we
the
know.
house as we are leaving, I am going to take with us the note stapled to the extra credit homework, the smudge stick, and the diary.
Once they do get out of the house, since 13 has been seeing E just on her phone as we're walking, he's going to
Hey
tap
Siri, can
her.
you find this?
He'll tap her on the shoulder this time instead of moving her earpiece.
How polite.
She'll pull one headphone to the side and say yes.
Are you searching something on that?
Yeah, so the house in that picture I was telling you guys about, and she'll hold up her phone to show the picture, and she'll reiterate who it belongs to, the 2 stories found.
Did you also tell us about the guy's history with the pumpkin thing?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, and I thought it was mostly a joke, that maybe these kids are being used in some form to get the pumpkins larger or something like that. I don't know, but you got weird soil on your hands. They took a picture in front of a house with somebody that's been winning this pumpkin thing. It seems like a lot of it might have to do with this pumpkin festival that's actually, well, happening right now. So it could be worth a shot.
It is important to not jump to a conclusion before we have all of the evidence compiled. Otherwise, we will start to formulate the facts to fit our theories instead of vice versa.
Yes, so I'm saying...
Did the 2 of you learn anything when questioning the parents?
Learned that Gabby is definitely not a druggy alcoholic teen like the police might have wanted to think she was. She'd been pretty normal, pretty much herself the last few days that she was around, and then she showed up night before she went missing. Said some really good prayers, apparently wanted to go to confession like a good Catholic kid, I guess, and she had this weird smell about her. Earthy, dusty, musty, but it was very masked by a sweet vanilla scent. I'm thinking we call our Sister Brooks, and find out, give her all those air fresheners.
That is interesting. That scent would match the smudge stick that I found among her belongings. However, she does not have any perfume. Perhaps she got that from one of her friends.
Maybe she was in a car with a vanilla air freshener.
That is possible, although for so much of it to stay on your clothes.
E will smell her sweatshirt and see if it still smells like that vanilla-y scent from the car.
For how long you've been in the house, might linger a bit. I mean, it was a lot of vanilla.
It
was one of those like
soil sample.
Snort it.
Well, I was thinking if she had an earthy smell to her as the other scent, it could be the soil.
True, but it was also like a smoky bonfire type scent. I think we need to find out what she was using the smudge stick for.
Indeed, and who she got it from. I saw in her diary, my guess would be that she got it from someone named Logan.
Is it always Logan's?
In my experience, people named Logan are not to be trusted. But she seemed to have gone back and forth about throwing it out or not. And she commented on the smell and that she couldn't wait for Sunday, which is probably when she went to confession.
So we should find this Logan and maybe talk to him. What do y'all think?
Well, why would Logan be peddling smudge sticks?
That is a very good question to ask him.
Well, I was thinking that might be more... You said she had a tarot card, right?
Sarah had the tarot
Sarah had a tarot card.
Yeah, that sounds more up the line of somebody that deals in tarot in order to get rid of the negative energy that you might get.
They could
from
all
a
be in
tarot
on it
reading.
together.
It is entirely possible there could be a connection between Logan and Sarah.
Regardless, we should visit them both. Sarah's one of the kids that went missing, so we need to pay her house a visit anyways. E's gonna get out her phone and go to Gabby and or Sarah's social media and see if she can find a social media page for Logan.
I still think it's curious that those 2 kids, though, were at the one person's house.
You were just standing in front of it for a picture, right?
Well,
I think just Sarah was in the picture.
how far
right?
away
It was
is that
just
house
Sarah
from
holding
where
up the
those 2
picture.
live?
not far at all. Everything is walking distance if you put your mind to it. It is also
you don't even
getting
have
into
to put your mind to
evening.
it.
True.
Very small.
As far as a social media presence, yeah, he has one. It's also, even from a glance, it's also some pretty standard stuff. His name, you find him, and you see in these pictures, you also see that same house. It appears that he lives at that same house with the Greens.
Seems like Logan lives in their house, or his house is near their house.
Like he's the child, it seems. Like that's their son.
How old does he look in the social media
Oh.
pictures?
Logan?
Logan
Yeah.
Green.
It looks like he's 13, 14.
Well, we can kill two birds with one stone with the greenhouse, because it looks like Logan lives there.
Greenhouse, growing things. That's funny.
Yes, we're all laughing. Shall we go?
Why don't you lead the way if you're so eager? Don't get us lost again.
Just try to keep up with your short legs. I don't think it's
Wait,
been
how
mentioned,
tall
but-
is everybody?
ESP's about 5 foot.
Oh, 13 is
She's-
6'2".
That's a difference there.
We thought Bo and Snow
my
seemed
mom and
short
my dad.
comparatively. That is such a distance.
He's like average, like 5'7".
Mycroft is 5'10".
Y'all off too.
Think the greenhouse?
Greenhouse.
I got you to say it again.
We'll see what's growing there. Maybe
A
some
Benny
clues have been
to
planted.
a Benny to ESP and Mycroft for maintaining this fantastic relationship. A Benny to E and 13 for dealing with it. So off you go. Yes, it's very easy to find, and it isn't far at all. And it is getting a little darker, so the street lamps are coming up. Kind of gives this slightly eerie glow to an otherwise very charming little neighborhood. The jack-o'-lanterns that are carved with these pretty cute smiles are casting these long shadows, and the garlands are looking a little deeper. The reds look a little deeper, and the gold looks a little more intense. You find the home of Richard Green. It looks it looks very well kept on the outside. The grass is well maintained. There's a garden wall going around their property. And the home's a bit bigger than the others. The homes over here are a little bit bigger. It isn't decorated though, like for the season. It's pretty simple, but it's well maintained. That is what you see as you come up to the home.
What does the gardening look like?
On this side of the wall,
From what we could see, how high is the wall?
it's a decent wall. It's like ESP's height.
Oh, so
She
then
can't see over the wall.
13 can see right past it then. So
Yeah, as you're walking up. So like, what kind of flowers? What kind of like?
like I'm
it's-
just
it's a
wondering
lot
if
of-
it is well kept gardening or if it's like weeds everywhere.
No, it's
things like
definitely
that.
well kept.
Okay.
It's definitely well kept out here. And there is a little. There are pumpkins. There are telltale pumpkins in a little patch.
And is it like
A tall wall.
I forgot if you described this, but is it multiple
Only
stories
to
or
you.
is this another ranch house?
It's multi-story.
Okay.
Shall I fetch you a box, ESP?
I would love to go over the garden wall.
Well, I don't think we should. I don't think we should scale the wall. They have a gate.
It was just a joke.
It was. You know? Okay.
Oh,
You're not really the joking type, are you?
what do you mean?
Yeah, no, you're not. Okay. Let's go.
That would be a stretch to say even for you.
So you go up to the house. Are you gonna just ring the bell again?
Yeah.
Or knock?
Yep.
You do so. You hear someone fairly soon. You hear someone coming up to the door. They open it. You see a man. He's not as well dressed as Mr. Johnson was, but he doesn't look like he's completely unkempt. Just very casual look about him. Maybe his clothes don't quite fit right. They look a little big, but he seems pleasant enough. He nods to you. How can I help you?
Hello.
Sir, my name is Pansy Page. This is Elliot, and these are our other two teammates, and we are here with a few questions. We're investigating the disappearance of the 5 children who went missing this past week. We've taken over the investigation from the local police, so even if you've already been interviewed by them, we probably need to ask you some questions as well.
I apologize for her. Could we perhaps step inside and ask you a couple questions?
Yeah, if I can help, sure. Just glad my boy's okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you
come
so
on in.
much.
And you walk into the home. It is quite different on the inside than it is on the outside. It's not a complete and total disarray. It looks like bachelor living. There are some used plates that are still unwashed in the kitchen. The living room, pillows are sideways. The table has books that are opened, maybe dog-eared, they would get to it later and just never put it away. Newspapers. Things are left around that should otherwise be put away. But he invites you. He kind of puts the pillows right and offers you a seat on the couch. And he'll offer to get you some coffee or tea or water, something.
Love some tea. That would be lovely.
He'll go around to the kitchen and kind of shout back over. So what did you guys need?
As he's in the kitchen, ESP's gonna snoop around, looking through the books, looking through the newspaper, looking through everything that's out.
Ye- and 13's gonna be doing the same.
Sure. So, the very first thing that is very noticeable as you guys are finally sitting down is that there's a mantle, and on this mantle, you see this framed photo. It's like the centerpiece of this line of little trophies, these little trophies. The photo itself is a picture of a man, appears to be Richard, and this lovely looking woman. E will probably recognize it from the obituary photo. It's a picture of him and his wife, and appears to be on their wedding day. So he's wearing this bright, brilliantly orange tie and pocket square to go with his suit. He's got like a beigey suit on, but not the standard. And beside him, his blushing bride is wearing this lovely, full, cream-colored dress. She has an orange sash around it, and on her birdcage veil, you see on the side of it is this little crystal pumpkin holding it together. And beside it, you see 10 of these first-place trophies that indicate Richard Green as the Pumpkin King, the winner of the Pumpkin Festival, the Pumpkin Festival's growing contest.
And wait, so this is a picture that was hanging on the mantle, or it's like standing on the mantle?
It's seated on the mantle.
Seated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the little pop-out leg, it's sitting there. Your other snooping about, it's pretty mundane things. You find a couple of like self-help pamphlets, like when you're down and like, you know, this is a difficult time. They seem like they're like really old, like you might have picked them up from forever ago from one of those college counseling centers. They just have little things sitting out there for you. There are other things. A lot of it is to do with gardening though, which is very telling, obviously, for someone like him. That seems to be the main gist of it. It's a lot of the gardening things that seem to be out and about, ready to look at.
E's gonna snap a few pictures of the room, just from where she's seated on the couch.
I'm gonna go to the kitchen to help him with the drinks.
Excellent. He did shout out what questions you guys had, and when you walk in, Mycroft, you see him. He's making those like instant tea the little bags, and he's just like getting the hot water from the cooler and just going right for it, watching it go. Some of it's splashing out, goes back for it.
So,
Oh, Pansy will absolutely love this tea, I can tell you right now. None for me, though. I have my thermos.
I'm trying to remember geographically, like the area that they're in, it gets cold in the winters, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's not, and it's not quite. It's still autumn. It's late October.
Yeah, no,
but
I get that.
It's gonna be chilly, yeah.
Lows are in the 30s at night.
He's gonna go over to Mr. So, if you're gardening all the time, do you maintain any kind of thing during the winter? Like, do you have a greenhouse? Potentially in your cellar.
So
Not to be too specific.
well, I did. I was a little more gung-ho about it a few years ago. I was, if you see over there, pretty good at gardening. Pumpkins mainly. I'm very good with those. Got some trophies, first place, easily won, but kind of lost my kick, you know? Kind of lost my muse.
What makes you so good at pumpkins specifically?
It's got a green thumb.
But only for orange things.
Well, no. Just the Pumpkin Festival is really the only place I can show off any of what it is, and I happen to be good at it, so why not make some extra cash and get some bragging rights? I grow other things. I just, 'tis the season, as they say.
So you don't have
Sorry,
a greenhouse.
you said you...
I was working on maintaining one, and then I kind of let it go by the wayside.
Sorry, you said you lost your muse. What was your muse for gardening? I'm very curious.
Well, my muse for everything was Tony. It's my
I
wife.
see, and I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thanks. I'm just glad that I wasn't. Well, I'm glad, and I hope it stays that way. That I've still got Logan. He's my son. I told him no more outside time. Nope. He's gotta come straight home. Not till this gets figured out. He's coming straight home. I'm not.
Has Logan ever played with tarot cards?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think he's into that kind of stuff.
What is he into, if I may ask?
Sports, we'll watch the game on Sundays together. He reads, smart kid. I think he's picking up a bit of a green thumb himself. We'll do some gardening together sometimes. I think he's good at it. He's not as interested,
But that must bring you some satisfaction as a father to be able to have a shared hobby with your son like that. Is he here?
Probably in his room.
Wonderful. We should probably get these drinks out to the others.
he's on like the last of the instant tea and like
So-
let it. He says, I think we gotta let it. We just gotta let it steep deep for a minute. And I've got some honey, and yeah, we can do a little something with this. Not too shabby. And he'll prep it a little bit more in his way and bring it out on this like kind of half stained with a little bit of like sticky something tray and bring it out.
And sorry if I missed this, but were you entering the pumpkin contest this year as well?
Yeah, actually, I did. I've been told a lot that over the last couple of years they were saying, you gotta pull yourself together. It'll be hard, but you've gotta kind of get back into the swing of things. Just get back on the saddle. And I'm trying to.
If you don't mind, can myself and my associate go to the pumpkin patch that you have?
Out back? Yeah, sure.
It's gonna point over at you. Did she see?
Huh?
Can you come with me to the back?
Sure. She'll just follow him.
Okay, while he brings the other... Did you want to take some tea with you?
No,
He
I'm
doesn't hear him.
allergic.
Okay.
They'll be fine, I'm sure. Tansy, here's your cup of tea. I'm sure it will be much to your satisfaction.
Anything but better than the tea you made me last time. She'll take a cup and happily
He's-
sip it. She's very
He's
polite.
also immediately going back and forth between you two. So, out in the pumpkin patch, were you looking for something specific?
E, can you use the sample that you gathered from the house and compare it a little bit with what he has growing back here?
E will like bend down and look at the dirt to begin with and see if it looks similar before she thinks about getting it out of her book bag.
It looks like dirt. Give me a science roll.
11.
Out here appears to just be dirt. It doesn't have the same, like, it's got dirt texture, so does the phosphorescent dirt, but it's not glowing
This
the way
dirt.
that the other dirt is. It's actually like really rich, really fine dirt. It is growing some swell pumpkins out here. Good dirt, really good dirt.
Top quality dirt.
I
Mhm.
mean,
That's the dirt you want.
It's dirt. It's like the same kind of dirt. Maybe it's a little bit thicker than the other dirt, but there's no like glowy bits in it. So I don't think the dirt that I found came from here.
Okay, I figured it would be maybe worth a shot. Thanks.
No problem. And she'll put her headphone on and start to walk. Did we have to come down steps to get outside, or is it flush?
There is a short, like the 3 steps up, kind of like the kitchen exit.
Okay. As she's going up the steps on the second step, she'll do that thing where your foot just like catches the edge of the step and you have to like stop and like catch yourself with your foot. And then she'll just look at 13 and then just like turn around and keep walking inside.
You're trying to avoid being seen that way? Like having
Well,
drip?
she's just kind of looking back to see if he noticed and if he's like laughing
Like
at
he
her.
was walking right behind because he was following
I
you
think,
back
I think
in.
he's gonna notice no matter what. She's just checking to see
If you were
if
trying
he's
to
like
cover it, I would
laughing
give
at
you a
her.
pose.
And...
And then when he steps on the second step, it breaks on him.
Oops.
He just
He's
falls
accurate,
backwards.
so she
He's
doesn't
that
notice.
unlucky.
He can't hear anything, so she has no clue. She just keeps walking.
Yet,
Does it
managed
make
to
a
kick
loud
it.
enough noise that E can hear him?
Notice roll -4 because it's major.
She rolled a 5 on her wild dice, but it was a
Ooh.
1 on the notice.
So you get
A
a
5
1
minus
still.
4 is also a 1.
He just
Yeah,
falls
she's
on
right.
his back and he just sees E continuing on like nothing's happening.
Could set off a cannon.
E and 13 make their way back inside. 2 trips later. And inside, though, were ESP and Mycroft waiting for them to return, or were you guys going to speak to
No.
Mr. Green or go
No,
straight
we're
to
gonna-
their room?
We're not gonna sit in silence waiting for the other two. We have questions.
We got questions.
First of all, does the house smell like vanilla?
The house does not smell like vanilla.
It didn't sound like a
What does the
vanilla
house
smelling
smell
house.
like?
It smells like dinner that was made earlier, maybe.
No particular scent stands out then.
I don't know. They've got like a pumpkin scent from one of those Glade air fresheners.
Like pumpkin or
the
pumpkin
motion
spice?
sensor ones. That...
Yeah,
There's
just
a
like
difference.
yeah, it's
I don't
pumpkin
think they
spice.
have.
It was his wife's favorite.
I apologize. It must have slipped my mind to introduce myself when we first entered your lovely home here. I am Flynn, Perry Flynn. My associate already said her name, of course.
Yes, because I remember things like politeness.
You do you happen to have, or could you tell us, what do you do for a living? As you mentioned, the pumpkins are for extra cash.
In sales, you know, basic day job. It pays the bills so I can afford to do the things I really enjoy.
It's important to have. Absolutely. Can I see clearly enough all of the trophies on the mantelpiece? And are they all like from the last several years, or are they all older than that, or what?
Yeah, they look like they span back. They're pretty consistent from the last like decade, 15 years. But the most recent first place trophy, which is also the most recent trophy, is from 5 years ago.
Okay, so there aren't any prizes from the last 5 years.
Not from him, no.
So how'd you get into pumpkin gardening? To like gardening pumpkins? It's really cool. They're really incredible, incredible fruit gourds. How'd you get into that? How does one get into pumpkin gardening? Pumpkin growing?
Honestly, you just start. I didn't start that way. I enjoyed gardening in general. I've tried, different seasons will yield different things, and honestly, it was a bit for the competition. Gosh, it's got to be like 2 decades ago I've been doing this. It wasn't great at first, but I got good enough to get noticed, and really just, and Tony spurred me on for sure. But once I got into it, couldn't get enough.
You've been growing this most recent pumpkin or pumpkins. You're probably checking it like every day, right? Make sure everything's going well, doing good.
Yeah, I'll take a peek, but they're pretty reliable.
Good. Have you noticed anything unusual, anything out of the ordinary in the last few days? We're just trying to figure out if there's anything going on, not you specifically, but just around town, as we're trying to piece together some information about these missing kids. So when you've been out and about looking at your pumpkin, out and about town, anything unusual stick out or stand out?
I thought you were about to say my pumpkins were weird.
No, I mean, I haven't seen them, so I couldn't say, and I'm not a pumpkin expert.
Well, first and foremost, I'm just gonna say, I'm glad you're a tea drinker and not a coffee drinker. Secondly...
I can't stand those coffee drinkers. They always have such bad breath.
Well, mainly because I think if you were a coffee drinker, you'd be talking even faster. So...
It is a problem that I have to deal with annoyingly frequently.
Are you two
Co-workers, sadly.
Coworkers. Just
No.
Still
No.
together a lot.
oh no.
No.
Never.
No. Absolutely not.
Tony used to say that a lot. Anyway, no, I don't pay too much attention to the street when I'm out there. It's just, I'll keep an eye out if Logan is out there, but he's also pretty self-reliant, pretty reliable, so I'm not paying too much attention.
Makes sense. Would it be possible for us to ask Logan a couple questions? Just see, we know he's probably friends with some of the kids who went missing, and sometimes kids notice things or hear things that adults don't, because we sometimes, that just goes over our heads, especially when you're short like me. But can we ask Logan a few
Indeed,
questions?
that is very true.
I mean, if he's willing to answer, yeah, I don't see why not.
Thank you so much.
When 13 walks in, he's carrying both halves of the stamp that he broke. And he just kind of lifts up both pieces. He's like, I'm sorry, this kind of snapped. And then one of them slides out of his glove and just lands on his foot. And he just stands there blankly staring at the guy.
Land
Oh
on
my.
a part of his shoe that was broken, so like it's actually
I mean,
his
they're
sock
just
and
sneakers.
toe.
It really doesn't even matter. There's no protection there.
Ay, ay, ay.
He'll bend down, pick that up, and then he'll pass them over to you.
He'll take them and he's like, do you need something? Are you cut? Did it?
No, it's fine.
Right, you're supposed to be
Alright.
the medically inclined one? The strong one? The
That's
Doctor
how I
one?
know it's fine.
Right. Just, I guess gives me a project. So now I've got another project. Well, thank you. He just
Second
like
step.
awkwardly puts it on the floor.
My apologies.
All right.
Are there any photographs in the room other than the one of him and his wife on their wedding day?
Yeah, there's some. Well, you said other than just the wedding photo? Because there's others of like him and his wife. There's like one from their honeymoon. There's some that are him, his wife, and Logan. You see a young man in the picture, or in some cases it's a young boy, floppy dark hair. And then there's other like pictures of these prized pumpkins and like, you know, ribbons. He'll call out to Logan down, like, well, up a flight of stairs, and in a minute, taking his sweet teenager time, you see 13-year-old Logan Green, that same kind of floppy hair, as he leans on the railing. Yeah? What's up?
Hello, Logan. My name's Pansy Page. This is Harry Flynn, Elliot, and Tech Girl. She's pretty cool. We're here because we want to ask you a few questions. We know some of your friends went missing, and we'd like to try and find them. We're not going to give up on them or anything. So we want to know if we could just ask you a few things about the last few days, last week. If you had any information, might really help us crack this case and get your friends back safe and sound before the Pumpkin Festival, so y'all can all participate and maybe see you have won a cool prize.
Okay. He just stays leaning on the railing. What's up?
I think he wants your questions.
Well, sometimes
You
my
happen
problem.
to ignore them. I don't know what they're doing.
You know,
Do you happen to know Gabriella?
Gabby Johnson? Yeah.
That'd be the one. Are you friends with her?
Sure.
Do y'all often do things together, spend time together, hang out?
He kind of gives you a lingering look. I mean, we all hang out.
All of you being...
I don't know, a bunch of us just hang out after school or whatever. Like, me, it's Gabby, and I mean, her friend, she's got Sarah. I don't know. Vince is my buddy. Lucas likes to hang around. Darnell, chill. He's little. He does the best. Meh.
When is the last time you have hung out with Gabrielle?
Before she went missing.
As in the day of or the day before?
I guess it was same day. School days all same day. Feels like all the same day.
Yeah, I understand how that can be for certain. Did you happen to notice anything strange or suspicious concerning Gabby, her behavior, anything out of the ordinary about her when y'all were together?
I don't know. I think she's kind of into Vince. Maybe me.
And is that out of the ordinary or is that ordinary?
I mean, I don't know. She's a girl.
Did you guys do a
I don't know what
tarot
they do.
card reading together?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Insight check.
Is that
I'd
a
like
thing?
to read his mind.
Not insight
I don't
specifically,
actually
but you
know.
can do notice. I
Notice?
think we'll still cover it.
Notice?
Oh, sweet.
Okay, can
Yeah,
I do a
notice
notice
will
as
cover
well
it.
on him?
Anyone who wants to do it, you may do it now.
Ooh, I
That
got
is an
6.
8.
That's an 8 on the 8. Let's roll that again.
I got
Yay.
8 with the raise, or whatever.
8 again.
Which one are you rolling?
D8.
Is that for your mind reading?
No, this is for notice. We're doing
Okay.
notice. I was going to do that first.
Holy moly. All right, how do we do?
8.
8.
E?
He's on her phone.
Oh, she's not listening. Cool. And ESP?
20.
Yeah, so the gentleman, when he says, I don't even know what that is, he's very clearly like, you know, he actually stands up from leaning on the railing, and he's kind of like leaning back a bit. Just kind of looks uncomfortable. ESP, you can tell that he was actually getting uncomfortable the more the conversation was going on, and a lot of that attitude just seemed to be like covering this discomfort. You get the sense he knows what a tarot card is, but he feels like he's caught in a kind of way. He just isn't saying anything.
Cool. Then we will read his mind and see what he's not saying. So that is a opposed smart.
Ah, yes.
That is an 8.
Okay, yeah, that beats his 5. You can see in his mind, as soon as you mention the tarot card and start digging into that, you see him holding the card and handing it to a pale hand. You see a really pretty bracelet on the hand and a cute little ring on the pinky finger that's taking the card from him. And then you see him jolt back a little bit, and he's like, I got homework to do. And then he goes down the hall again. He leaves.
Before he starts going down the hall, E's gonna pull off her headphone and be like, hey, Logan, it was, right?
He's booking it.
13's gonna run after him.
Tackle the child!
No, not tackle him, but he's just gonna run after him.
Okay.
Oh my.
We have a runner.
He starts running down the hall. You go charging up the stairs. We're gonna do an opposed agility and see if he can get to his room fast enough.
So he's got 10.
Yeah, that's better than his best roll.
So he's
Yeah,
just
you
gonna
go-
get ahead of him and just kind of like block the door. He's not gonna touch the kid, but just kind of like block him off. And
I took the Veritas training.
yeah. We still need to ask you some questions. Can you come down?
He like tries to get around you, and he's just
Like,
like, look,
he's gonna
man,
put
okay,
his
I don't
hand-
know anything.
He's gonna like position his arms in a way that also shows the gun that he has on his side as a slight intimidation.
Intimidating this young teenager kid.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Oh, is that an actual thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh
It's
no, I
spirit
don't
roll.
have anything in that. It's gonna be 6 + 5 - 2, so 9.
Pretty
Okay.
good for untrained skill.
Yeah, that's the -2,
But
right?
it is a gun.
Yeah.
So he's actually, you look at him and he's about to like call out to his dad or something, like he's
So-
weirdos or whatever, and then he sees the gun. He's like,
Sees the gun, and when he looks up, he also sees, because he has 2 different colored eyes, so he also just looks into the gray, dead-looking eye on his one side.
"What do you want, freak?"
We need some more answers. My colleague has some questions for you.
My
We're
cop is gonna
looking
follow.
for missing people, so if you value your friends' lives, you should be helpful.
What do you want?
I want you to come downstairs and answer some questions.
Mycroft catches up at this point because he's a little bit worried that he's gonna attack the kid. Mycroft
you
comes
get-
up behind him. You don't need to be frightened. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to get some answers so that we can find these missing persons, as my colleague here suggested. If you would like, we can step in. We can do this in your bedroom where you might be more comfortable. If you would prefer that than going downstairs. I know I'm
Hey,
always
whatever.
more comfortable in my own room.
Well, this guy's in the way, so whatever.
Does he-
Move, guy.
So he's gonna yell down, headphones. Sorry.
She does have
He's
one
tr-
headphone off.
He's trying to know her name, but he doesn't, and he doesn't know how to. He doesn't want to say not Pansy. Come up here, so he says headphones.
Not Pansy.
Headphones. Come.
Not
Other
fancy.
girl.
We're gonna question him in his bedroom. Can you come up
Okay.
here?
Yeah, Pansy, do you want to keep talking to
Yeah. Where's the dad been doing? We just-
Uncle upstairs?
This is perfectly normal. Don't worry. We've got everything under control, Mr. Richard. We discovered that your son might be hiding a little bit of information, so we're just trying to understand what he knows. That way we can figure all this out together. But look, can you tell me some more about growing pumpkins? I'd love to know more about that.
He's
Give me
gonna start
persuasion.
walking upstairs.
You can start walking. Pansy, ESP, please give me a persuasion check.
That is a 5.
That's a 6. Okay. For just a second, he's about to like follow at the small commotion. And then he looks back at you and he's like, pumpkins. Well, actually, I just read this article.
Cool. While he
Wow.
starts talking, Pansy's going to take out her cell phone and text what she read in Logan's mind to Mycroft.
Sounds good.
When they walk past, because 13 will come up after everybody's gone in, but then when he goes to readjust like his shirt to recover his gun, it falls out the holster and a shot goes down the other end of the hallway.
What the heck?
You don't
He
feel
would
that
then pick
exact
up the
thing?
gun and then put the safety on, but then realize the safety's just broken. So then he just puts it into his holster.
Is that what we're going with?
He's gonna see
Fiddlesticks,
that
What on
and be
earth
like,
are you doing?
hey, do you want me to try and fix that?
No, it's
Look,
fine.
Mr. Richard, I promise everything's fine.
All of this
Don't worry
over-
about it.
What the hell?
Look, one of our everything's
Everything
fine.
is okay up here.
My gun fell
My-
down. It's fine. These things happen.
Maybe you guys need to leave my house.
Oh, we'll leave in just a minute, sir. Don't worry. I
I'm
trust Mycroft. He's
deeply-
My
apologize.
son is up there
Yes,
with
sir.
someone firing up. You need to get out of my house.
Gravity
We
fired.
will leave
it.
your house in a few minutes.
Do I need to call the cops? Do they really? Are
We
they
are the
actually FBI?
Sir, we will leave your house in a few minutes. Your son is hiding information that is pertinent to our investigation, and we need it in order to find these
I
missing
have rights
kids.
as a citizen. I have rights. Okay, he's gonna start making his way to the kitchen, looking for his. It's a bit
Pansy
messy,
is-
but he's gonna be looking for his phone to call the police.
Pansy is trying to find his phone first.
All right.
Can E try to like make some sort of cell phone jammer real quick out of the stuff in her bag?
Just
Don't
ask your question so we
No.
can
Kill
get
the
this out
power.
of here.
So, okay, you two are looking for the gun. Or, not the gun, the cell phone.
Can I change that and use my hypno cloth to confuse this guy and distract him while we're trying to get
It's just a
talk to his
cloth
son?
full of chloroform. She's just
What's the,
Go to sleep, go to
So-
sleep, go to sleep.
Okay, so it's part of your clothing.
Why do you
When
think she always wears a
activated-
scarf?
She just strangles him. It's fine, it's fine.
When activated, it flickers and pulses for a moment, inducing disorientation and nausea in some onlookers. The power of the illuminated fibers may be increased to affect more targets, but this requires additional resource points. Okay, so you're just gonna go ahead and activate it. He beelines it for the kitchen. You activate your hypno cloth, and as he's going over towards, first he's checking where he had made the tea. You see him kind of hold the countertop for a moment and blink real hard, and he does appear to be disoriented. Give me a notice roll at a -2, and we'll have you check kind of the whole surroundings while he's trying to orient himself.
Cool.
While
That
you're
is
doing that, oh sorry.
A5.
Okay, that's after the -2.
Yes.
You two down here are searching madly for a phone. Turns out it was fallen and kind of ended up underneath one of the kitchen chairs or something. Upstairs, so you do have the phone while he's still disoriented. Upstairs, what were you guys doing? Well, a gun went off. This kid doesn't know what the heck's going on.
Mycroft is just following Logan into his room, and then once I get in there, I'm gonna obviously take a look around, see what's in this kid's room.
It's a pretty standard room for a teenage boy. He's got some, sports memorabilia and posters on the walls. He's got half-finished homework on his desk. Got a little laptop in there. Assorted things. Nothing too out of the ordinary on first blush. You can give me a notice roll, though, to look deeper. Are you guys saying anything to him while you're in his room?
Well, this
He
is
was
just
going to.
Okay.
This whole thing
This
started.
is a first look around
Ay.
as we enter the room. So I rolled a 3 on the D8 and a 6 on the D6, so I re-roll it, correct?
That aces. Roll it again.
So that's a 4.
Okay, so a total of 10. That is a success with a raise. Congratulations. I will show you what you find in just a moment. 13, what were you trying to tell this?
Well, he wasn't
Now,
trying to. E was trying to when they were downstairs. And then he started running, so that's why he chased after him.
So, E, what were you trying to tell this boy?
He was just trying to ask him what kind of phone he had so she could see if she could borrow a charger to try and get into his room.
Oh, what? Really?
Well, we're in the
You're in
room. So you
But
succeeded.
Right now, I'm guessing she heard him talking about trying to call the cops. So unless Pansy yelled up and said that she's got it under control, E's trying to rig something up so that she can block cell phone signals.
As
for,
soon as
a
Pansy
short
got the
period of
phone,
time.
he would have yelled, "Everything's fine."
Okay, so then he's just looking around the room for dirt. That's all she wanted to do in the room.
Looking for dirt.
Looking
And
for
I guess she'll look for his electronics and see what he's got. Maybe mess around with some of his electronics.
Okay, so I guess if they are looking, then 13 will talk to the boy. So why do tarot cards scare you?
They don't scare me or whatever. I don't even know anything about them. I just know they exist and they look cool.
You
Some
said
people-
that you didn't know they existed when we asked you first time.
Okay, so I know.
Why?
Whatever.
Why would you lie?
Because you're all asking these stupid questions, and I don't have anything to do with anything, okay? I didn't do anything.
You don't have to do something, but don't you want your friends found?
Well, yeah, but if I say something stupid and then you're gonna be like, oh, he did it and he's involved, and then I gotta be like, no, I'm not.
It's more
they're
concerning
not
if
gonna
you're
believe me.
dodging questions than if you just answer them.
We are not here to point fingers at you, Logan. We are simply trying to divine the truth of these circumstances. And as you are obfuscating information, it paints you in a worse light to do so, and this whole thing will be over quicker. You just could answer us truthfully. And if you could tell us maybe, why did you lie? about the
I'm
tarot
sorry.
cards.
As you're saying this, and the more you go on about these cards and looking weird, looking more suspicious, you see his eyes kind of like flickering towards his bed. His room does not have a carpet, it's just the wooden floor. And he has a bed that's slightly elevated off the ground. So you notice that his eyes flicker a couple of times towards his bed.
So perhaps you could tell me, why is it you chose to lie about the tarot cards, and perhaps who you gave it to?
I found it and thought it looked cool, so I gave it to that girl, Sarah. Whatever. So she had a card. It doesn't do anything. It's not real.
I understand. So you were simply scared of perhaps the connotation of handing off such an item. So that is why you decided to obscure the truth from us?
I gave it to her, and then all of a sudden, she's not here.
So you're worried
It
that
looks
perhaps there's a
bad.
connection there.
I mean,
I
There-
understand.
isn't. I don't think. That'd be stupid unless you believe in that stupid stuff. But
Where did you get the card from?
found it
Where?
in a box.
Where was the box?
Who cares? It's just a box that had stuff, and that was one of the things in the box.
It'd be a good idea to
What else
search that box.
was in the box?
Give me a persuasion check, the two of you.
Does E see any dirt?
E does not see any dirt.
So that is a 5.
4.
Okay, both are successes. His demeanor kind of shifts a bit. It goes from that really defensive, teen, grungy, to his shoulders kind of slump a little bit, and he kind of looks put out. This box I found in our garage. My dad was looking at some of my mom's old stuff, and he's going through it. I guess his part of his whole hey, make myself feel better now. So, I found some old stuff. I don't think he should keep it. I think he needs to get rid of a lot of that stuff because I think it's not helping. So I took some stuff and I gave it the cool stuff to some of my buddies, whatever.
You think so? That box is in the garage.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yes. No.
Are you sure it's
Where-
not underneath
it's
your
not?
bed?
What? How did you know?
It's a hunch.
13's gonna walk over to the bed and check underneath it.
You look under the bed and you don't immediately see anything except some lost socks and a crumpled chips bag. And you just hear him behind you going ha, you thought I kept stuff under my bed.
So where
Well,
do you
we
have
already
it?
know that you keep stuff under your bed because you wouldn't have exclaimed the way you did unless that were true. So perhaps you wouldn't mind telling my friend here, perhaps the floorboard that is loose and allows him to see your little hiding place.
He just kind of kicks the floor. Dang it! And he's move, and he'll crawl under, and you see him just pop a couple of boards out of the place, and he pulls out this small chest, and it has a few odd-looking items in it. He says, "It's not everything. I just took some cool things I thought people would like." You see inside, there's this one of those dream catchers, and it's got the beaded hanging pieces of fabric. You see a mirror in there. It's cracked a little bit, but the engraving on the outside looks like this, 5-pointed star with inside of a circle. You see what looks almost like ashes and kind of gives off that similar smell of that smoky, earthy smell, and various items like that.
I see. Well, it was very generous of you to decide to give these items that you discovered to friends who you thought might enjoy them. What made you decide to, if I may be so bold, give the smudge stick to your friend Gabrielle?
She likes stuff that smells cool or whatever.
So
Does she?
has everyone that's gone missing got something from your mystery box?
No, I mean, Vince is still here.
And he has something?
What did you
Well-
give to Vince?
I gave him this what was it? I think I gave him this pen. It's got that same cool thing on it, and he holds up the mirror with the
Third-
star.
A 13's gonna
The-
look out the
pentagram.
window. How dark is
Yeah,
it?
that thing.
What time is it
It's-
right now?
You guys have probably been at this for an hour plus.
We've
hour or
searched
so.
2 different houses. I don't know how far they were to walk between, but
Not too far.
So, like,
yeah,
an hour, hour and a
you've been
half.
at this.
Yeah.
But you already, when you got here, it was already getting late.
Where
It was
is
like
your friend?
it was evening, so probably like like 7.
Where does your
7:30-ish,
friend
yeah.
live?
Who, Vince?
Yes.
He's just on the other end there. Of
I
the
think we
cul-de-sac.
should go to Vince's house.
Indeed, but a few more questions before we do.
Mhm.
Who else did you give items to? I understand your frustration. I hope you can bear with us for just a few more moments. Who else did you give items to?
Well, I gave Sarah that thing. I gave Vince some stuff. I guess I gave Gabby that thing. Really just those guys.
And no one else received anything from this box then? The only people who have anything from the box are people you gave it to.
Yeah. I was gonna give some more stuff to like my friends at school or whatever.
Interesting.
You don't actually think it's
I'll-
the things in the box, right?
We're
Like you
gonna
don't
take
believe in
the
that
box.
I
stuff.
want to.
What?
I would like to assure you, Logan, that even if we find a connection between the disappearances and the items that you gave, that it would not necessarily be your fault, as in you don't know what capabilities things might have. It would be the fault of whoever left the box here. So try not to stress on that point. If there's anything else that you could tell us about your friends who disappeared, anything at all strange that you may have seen or even smelled or heard.
Just that's the only weird thing. Like, I gave those things to those girls and then they go disappear. I don't know what happened to the other two. If you think it's connected, I don't know, maybe Vince is pretty bad about regift. He gave me my own watch back one year for my birthday that I gave him. He's bad about that. I don't know, maybe he gave it to them. But I don't think it's connected. I think you guys are crazy.
Well, we shall see. I know someone who is just as bad at gift giving as your friend, and it can be quite frustrating. One more question about your friend Gabrielle. Do you happen to know if she was having troubles in classes before the disappearance happened? I understand she had some extra credit homework given to her by Sister Brooks. Something about her failing attention in her studies.
No, Gabby is super smart. She does, she does good in like everything.
So that seems unusual then for that to be the case for her.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she got distracted because she got a gift from the coolest kid in the whole cul-de-sac.
That is entirely possible, and these things do tend to occupy one's mind. Well, Logan, if there is anything else that comes to mind, any sort of information you can give us, even if you think it's unimportant or not connected, I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I think myself and my colleague here will be going. We will have to confiscate some of these items, of course. I'm sure you'll understand if there's nothing of issue, we will return them.
Keep them. They shouldn't be here anyway. Or Dad'll see it and then he'll start talking to himself while he's gardening, like Mom's actually here or something. That man needs help.
Would you? Does he do that often? Does he talking to himself? I mean,
I think it's part of his self-help stuff. Like, visualize what you want. Well, he wants Mom here, but she's not here, so.
I'm guessing we have each other's numbers, right?
You guys?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
You have means to contact.
We have a group chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like we.
on your Oblivion comm link, you have group chat.
Yeah, 13's gonna text ESP and tell her to read the dad's mind. So he's gonna say that the son is saying that the father seems to be a bit off.
How many PowerPoints does she have left?
She still has enough. She's curious. She'll do it.
That's opposed.
So you can just
I
ask
also
him first.
picture 13 having like those flip phones because they're durable. He doesn't have a smartphone, so he's just.
If
Takes
he
you
sees
4
that,
times
she's
as
gonna
long to
look at
type.
him and
Yeah,
be
he's
like,
just like.
She's gonna start by using empathy to try and build up a bit of a better rapport since she just kind of confused the heck out of the man.
He's still confused.
Probably be a
Yeah,
good idea.
go for it.
So empathy is another opposed roll,
Okay.
spirit roll. 6 on the d6, plus a 4 on the d6 for a 10.
That's a success with 2 raises. He rolled
He
a
did
2.
that bad.
This also gives me basic gives me insight into his basic emotions.
So what are you asking him?
So, Mr. Richard, can you tell me more about your wife? Does it ever feel like she's still in the room, like she's still near? I know when you've lost someone
Tell me
sometimes.
if your wife is in the room.
Am I speaking to your wife now?
Is she in the room right now?
I noticed the beautiful picture you have of her. I know sometimes when you go through really hard loss, sometimes it still feels like there's a comforting presence in the room, or like they're still nearby. And I wonder if maybe that spurs you on in your pumpkin gardening.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does. You know, I was just saying that if I'm gonna make a comeback, this year, it's thanks to my guardian angel. It's thanks to Tony. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think about her all the time, and it does feel like she's right there with me sometimes when I'm gardening.
Does?
I'll tell her some stories about our honeymoon, and I'll tell her about trips we took when Logan was first born. He's just like rambling.
Mycroft's gonna text ESP and say, I know you can text without looking at the screen. Keep us updated with whatever you're finding.
She will do that, basically typing as fast as I do and just sending them stream of thought of what's in the conversation as it's going on. Yeah, but so that's wonderful and lovely. I was wondering though, a little more specifically, especially around the time of year, you know, sometimes it feels like that veil is a little bit thinner between the world. Sometimes I feel like I have a little closer connection to some loved ones I've lost around this time of year. There's a little bit more present or a little bit more there. So it's almost like I can hear them. Do you ever feel like you can hear your wife?
I mean, people talk about spirits and veils between the worlds and whatever, but I mean, I don't know about all that, but yeah. You know, sometimes it feels like I can remember encouraging things she said, and it can feel pretty real, I guess.
Interesting. You know, and this happens most, like, just all the time, or?
I mean, I mainly think about it when I'm gardening.
Yeah?
Especially working on my pumpkins.
Do you feel like, so you said you feel like your guardian angel's helping you, Tony's helping you with your pumpkins. Have they been growing better than before? Doing better than they have in the past because of her assistance, maybe?
You know, I think so. I think I'm getting that muse back. I think she's, now that I've passed that really heavy grief, I think it's moved into just remembering her better, and I think it's really affecting everything. I think everything's just getting better, yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you feel like you're getting better. So you don't really believe in all this spirit and veil stuff. I know. It probably seems kind of stupid. You're probably wondering why I'm even asking about it. Sometimes I wonder why I'm asking about it. Have you ever, like, lost track of time when you're gardening? Like, suddenly you're out there and the next thing you know, 5 hours have passed. I sometimes do that when I'm reading books. But you don't really know what happened, and does anything ever seem strange when that's happened?
I mean, I feel like strange is pretty open to interpretation. I lose track of time, I guess. Nothing, but I mean, by the end of it, I've got, good soil in there. Pumpkins look good. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you do with the soil? How do you get it to work so well?
I see what you're up to. Nope. That's a trade secret. Gotta keep that one to myself. That's between me and Tony.
It is? Look, I don't want to even live here. I would love to try and win my pumpkin gardening contest back at home, I hear they're going to be starting one next fall, or if they are, I want to participate and even inspire me. And I'd love to be able to bring a little bit of Tony, keep her memory alive in another town.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, thank goodness for the bonus. Brings it to a 4.
Dang.
It's the worst roll of the day.
I know. He says,
she's freezing.
I can't give away trade secrets, but I can't discourage someone who's got a potential green thumb. So what I will do is I can look. So I'll give you all the sites that I followed when I was first starting. I don't want to give you too much all at once. But I got a whole list of sites I can give you, some books you can do some references on, some key players in the pumpkin growing field, and I think so. You seem smart. I think you'll pick up pretty quick. And if you have questions, here you can email. Here, this is my work email. But yeah, email me if you have questions, and we can talk through it, figure it out.
Right? You sure you won't budge on that trade secret?
Sorry, yeah.
And then we're gonna do this.
And then we're gonna do a little bit.
Wait, you're reading his mind for the
sure?
trade secret, not about the things.
Turns out he just uses like Nutrisoil, whatever.
It could be, but so that is a 7. It's a contested. It's an opposed roll, so he needs to roll smarts.
Yeah, it beats him. You rolled a 7.
Yep.
That's a success with a raise.
So then he
you're-
won't be aware that I did this.
Excellent. So you look into his mind as he's thinking about, first he's thinking about the websites that he plans to send to you. But you can see, as far as he understands, it seems, you see whatever he's doing with the soil, whatever he's doing with these pumpkins, absolutely involves his wife. And in his mind, it is clear as day that there is a woman standing beside him, and very tenderly, her hand on his as they're checking and they're going through the earth. It kind of looks like in those moments, there's a little glow, like a little greenish glow in those moments that together, hand in hand, husband and wife again, appear to be working in the soil.
She relayed that word for word to the group chat.
You even see this little wedding ring, and it's the engagement ring and the wedding band combo, and the engagement ring is like these bright orange stones.
All right, that's very helpful. Thank you so much, Mr. Richard.
Mycroft is texting back, asking what he knows about the box of occult items in his garage.
So, changing the subject, I'd love to hear more about pumpkins, but I do have other curiosities too. What do you know about this box of occult items that was found in your garage?
As he's talking, or as he's about to talk to you, he kind of like, his eyes kind of blink hard, and he looks at you and he says, "Wait, didn't you guys just shoot off a gun in my house?"
It was an accident. Everything's fine.
Not okay. Why are you still here? Why
I
do
told you
have
we'd
a
leave in a
headache?
few minutes.
I think it's been a few minutes. I think it's time you get out.
She texts that back. I think we're being kicked out. You've been very helpful, sir. Thank you so much. I think you've added a lot to our investigation. We apologize for any inconvenience or any,
Inconvenience, like shooting off a firearm in my home with my 13-year-old son?
Yes, sir, that's an inconvenience.
Okay, it's time to go. And he kind of starts ushering you towards the door. And
Before
he'll call
they
out,
leave-
"Hey!"
Has one more question for Logan.
Real quick, what was that? E, what were you up to? 'Cause we haven't...
I was gonna ask Logan a real quick question too before we left.
Okay.
It's not like
okay,
she's gonna
either
hear
one of
the
you.
dad calling anyway.
That's true.
All right.
She won't start to move until she sees the other guys move. So
Sure. Whoever has a question, go for it.
she won't
go for it,
ask
Kassie.
until they know that she knows that they're leaving. So you go ahead.
One more question for you, Logan. Do you happen to know if this box was your father's or your mother's possession?
I mean, I just found the box and put the stuff I found in my mom's box in here so I could get rid of it or give it to my friends.
So this was a box of your mother's possessions then. You said your father was going through some of her stuff, and this is what you found with that.
Yeah. Just
Thank
some
you
cool
for
stuff.
your indeed. Thank you for your cooperation. I know it wasn't pleasurable for you, and my deepest condolences on the hardship that it must be to lose one's friends. And once again, if there's anything else you think to tell us, please do let us know. Otherwise, I think we can leave you now, as we seem to have been summoned back downstairs.
And you hear this shout from down the hall. What's
Yeah.
going on up there? Get away from my kid!
Is there a window in this room?
There is.
So
Throw the kid out the window.
Well, no, 13's concerned that the dad's not gonna let him walk down the stairs and out the house with a box that he took from his son's room. So he's going to walk
That's
over
fair.
and he's gonna open up the window and then he's
You
going
could just
to
put it in Eve's book. Hey, just put it in my book bag. I don't know what you're doing with the box, but just put it in my book bag.
Oh, I pictured it to
Why
be
are
a
you-
big box. I did.
It's not
It's
enormous.
like a
Like
shoebox.
a shoebox.
Oh, is it a shoebox?
It's probably closer to shoebox size.
Oh, then he'll put it in his own bag. I thought for some reason in my head I picture it as
What are you
being
doing
much
with the
bigger. And as he walks out, he's gonna look over at Logan. Well, you weren't exactly the most easy person to question, but I make a point to give this to all the kids that I end up questioning. And he passes him. Probably like this big. It's a sticker, and it says "You did grape," and it's a grape giving a thumbs up on it as he continues walking out.
Oh my gosh.
Elliot, I am impressed. I think I misjudged you. That's a very kind and generous thing to do.
Does
Thank
Eve have
you.
time? to ask him another question real quick.
If it's quick.
Okay. Hey, kid. So I know small towns like this, there's like not really much to do. What do you guys even do for fun? Is there like a hangout spot or something?
I mean, we can't get all the way out to Boise, so we just chill out here.
Like at the
Got
house or
games. Yeah, we'll have to be outside or whatever. Or I mean, my dad bought me a PS5.
ooh, nice.
Yeah, right?
I'm
We
glad
got it.
you're not
We
an
actually got it
Xbox
on
or-
sale.
Xbox person.
Yeah, man. Black Friday. Got it.
Okay.
I feel
See,
like
kid, and
E
she's
thinks
gonna-
she's. I feel like E still thinks she's hip with the kids.
Well, she's 22. I mean, she acts like a college kid still.
And he's just like, oh, she's actually kind of cool. Yeah, she's kind of cool or whatever. Play my PS5 sometime or something, you know, or whatever. No big deal. It doesn't matter. You do whatever.
We head downstairs.
Okay, you head downstairs just as there is a man gently forcing ESP towards the door and then about to shout out again up the stairs until he sees you guys. And he's just like gesturing to the door like, you get out. I will call the cops once I find my phone.
Elliot
Stay away
leaves
from
his
my
business
kids.
card again with him.
ESP takes the phone, doesn't give it back.
Okay, you have the phone.
He's just gonna say over shoulder, like, hey, make sure your kids' windows are locked. We saw some weird stuff by the windows in one of the other houses. Just a note, be safe. And then she'll walk out the door.
Lock your window. Why? Just do it. Whatever.
Mr. Green, as walking out, Mr. Green, first of all, please do not touch my colleague. But also, I was wondering if you could possibly tell me really quick as we are leaving whether that box of occult items in your garage belong to you or your beloved wife. You know the one I'm talking about.
Give me a persuasion check with a -2 penalty.
That is a 5.
He says, my wife doesn't keep stupid stuff like that. Get out.
So it was yours then, is what you're saying.
He doesn't respond again. You get the sense he lets slip it's his wife's. He just doesn't like the fact that you're calling it occult and weird.
He also used present tense. Thank you for your time. We will be out of your hair now.
And when you guys exit, he slams the door shut.
Well, darn better, but you know, we still got a lot of really good information. His tea was awful, though. Take back what I said earlier, Mycroft. You make better tea than he does.
Wow, that is the nicest thing you have said to me in perhaps the entire time I've known you.
I mean, you set the bar low, he just rolled right under it.
Alright, well, we know
Well,
a potential target if
delightful.
another kid's gonna get taken.
Take out.
Indeed.
Oh, I was thinking we would just
However-
go into the house.
However, we don't yet know if there's a sure connection between all of these items, as he didn't give it to... He only gave items to 2 of the 5 children who were missing.
Some stuff.
With E's phone, whenever she was like waiting around, because she looked around at the electronics, but there wasn't much for her to do while the boys were talking to Logan. So she would have pulled up on her phone to look at like satellite images of the area over before and during the time of the disappearances to see if there were any changes to the area.
I will allow you to do that and make a hacking roll for me. It'll take you some time to go through the images if you are successful. So where are you guys headed next then?
Do we think we should go to Vince's house, or Claire, you look like you have many thoughts spinning in that little mind of yours. What are you thinking?
Always got a lot of thoughts spinning in this mind. They still don't always come out clearly. But you know,
I've noticed.
there's definitely something going on with the dad and the wife. I'm pretty sure he might be being haunted. I'm not really sure exactly. Like, I texted you. I hoped you could understand all that. I was texting you, but you know, something's not right there.
Rambled as you always do, but you got the gist of it.
Something's not right there. And yeah, he got very defensive very quickly at the mention of anything occult. We had built up a little bit of a rapport, and then it just all kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I think the gun going off in his house did not appeal to his good-naturedness. Even in Idaho, they usually try to shoot them outside, I believe.
Yeah, that definitely tampered down some stuff. I did get his phone though, and she'll pass it over or hold it out to E. And while she's doing that, she'll take a look at E's phone to see what she's always looking at and doing because she's curious.
Well, right now, is she
Yeah.
looking at the satellite images, or are we saying that that was done earlier?
Yeah, she'd be looking at the satellite images, but I'm gonna imagine it's kind of like, you know, when you have Google's Navigate up and like it'll show your Spotify playlist at the bottom because they're connected apps. So like your Spotify playlist or whatever you're using is like underneath there, so she can see at least like the song and album.
You can see that she's listening to Perry the Platypus extended version, and the title of the playlist is Super Secret Spy Music.
Excellent.
She's listening to your song.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
If ESP is holding out the phone to her, she'll pull off her headphone and be like, what's that? What do you need?
Oh, I stole it from, borrowed it from Mr. Green. He was looking for it, trying to call the police. I told him where the police didn't really work.
Gimme.
Giving it to you.
You
Please
can't
search
just take stuff.
She'll start
It's
looking
evidence.
through
I'll make a
the
log.
phone at search history, messages, any weird apps, his notes app, things like that.
Well, I think it's only evidence if we
Happening.
find something on the phone.
He was being
Exactly.
very
Thank you.
suspicious.
Where did you guys decide you were gonna go? Were you gonna go to Vince?
I think
Or-
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're walking that
excellent.
direction.
And it doesn't take you long, and so you are searching. You don't find anything on the phone. You find a lot of pictures of pumpkins. And a little odd, you find a couple of pictures that almost look as if he were like taking a selfie with the pumpkin patch, but it's off-centered. He's off to the side of this supposed selfie with the pumpkin, and the pumpkin is in the middle. Like the pumpkin is like more centered than anything else, and he's kind of off to the side. And you see a few pictures that kind of look like that, and some of them he's kind of looking off at nothing. It's not quite behind him at the pumpkin, it's just like off to that emptier side of the picture. But you see a couple of photos like that. As far as messages go, it's nothing out of the ordinary from what he might say, whether it's work related or it's about the pumpkin festival and his entry, you know, excited for the first time in 5 years and that kind of thing. As you guys approach the home, are you going to be knocking and making your way in?
We can
Well,
look
not
around
poking
outside,
in.
see if there's
Okay.
anything unusual outside the house first.
Sure. Whoever's looking around outside, give me a notice roll.
Okay, we'll look around
Okay.
outside at all the electronic thingies.
That is A5.
Also a 5. Oh wait,
I got a
this
4.
one was a 4, so I get to reroll it. 7.
11.
First thing you notice is that the house is very similar to the house of the Greens. They have also very nicely tended this shrub wall, you know, the shrubberies. He also has a very nicely tended garden. He has this area for the pumpkin patch for his prized pumpkins. His backyard, though, feels like it's maybe trying to one up even. He's got this patio area that's fenced in with this wrought iron gate. And above it, you can see there are a couple of windows on that side of the house in the backyard. Overall, it doesn't look immediately strange. You also notice that all the lights are out except one. There's like one rando light in, but otherwise all the lights are out in the house.
What time is it?
At this point, it's getting to be like around 9-ish. Maybe spend another half hour or so.
So is it dark outside?
So
It's pretty dark.
it's pitch dark. Yeah,
Cool.
It's pitch
Take
black
out my flashlight. We'll use that.
There are
13
there are
puts on
street
his night
lamps.
vision goggles.
Excellent. And there are street lamps, and there are actually a couple on the porch, little patio. There are a couple little glowing lanterns out there
And
too.
plenty of stars.
And the stars. So as you guys are looking about, though, there was an 11. Did anyone else get a raise? Mycroft, as you're going about the house, you stop a moment as you hear something sounds a little strange over by the pumpkin patch, which is fenced in by this wooden gate. You hear something a little odd over there. E definitely didn't hear it.
What did it sound like?
It sounds almost like a churning or like a digging or something moving about maybe in the dirt.
Hold on, everyone. I hear something coming from the pumpkin patch.
Hearing voices again?
So wait, are they looking at the pumpkin patch now?
It's up to you.
Okay, well,
We
13's
go
gonna look,
investigate it.
and he has his night vision goggles.
Mycroft
You
will
s-
move towards the patch as well and gesture to Claire to follow him.
Oh, I guess when 13 went, he tapped E on the shoulder in case she's not paying attention and pointed over.
What's up?
Minecraft heard something by the pumpkin. The pumpkin patch.
was waiting all night for that.
What? Who? Minecraft? I don't know who that is.
Mycroft, the pumpkin patch. He heard something.
Oh, okay. Eat will actually keep her headphone off to the side and pause her music.
Okay. So while you were getting her attention, the other two are starting to head up towards the pumpkin patch. You pause for a moment as you see something flips across the top of the gate, and it makes this slapping sound as it strikes the other side of the gate. And you see it looks like what appears to at first to be maybe a rope, and then you recognize it's this green, it almost looks like a vine, and the gate slowly swings open. And what you see now on the other side of this gate is numerous vines, twisting, turning, knotted about each other, going vertically. And you see additional almost appendages of these knotted vines, one on either side of this kind of trunk-like body. And on top of it, you see no more than maybe probably just a little taller than, well, it's a little taller than ESP. You see this dirt-covered, round, orange shell, this gourd-like shell sitting atop it as if it were a head. The eyes are cut out, jagged eye holes, and a jagged smile going across the bottom, right below these two angry-looking eye holes. But
Does
it
see
sees
us?
you.
Do we get the sense? Okay, well, all right.
Yeah. Well, it at the very least has paused after the gate moved aside. It has paused and is directly in line with you. It kind of tilts the gourd-like head to the side, and you hear this faint little cackling sound. I'm going to have us all do an initiative. Are we ready?
Do it.
Instinctually, Mycroft just puts his arm out, blocking Claire.
Claire backs away a little bit. She's hesitant.
Cute. All right. So you see this pumpkin guy in front of you. The way initiative works with SavageWorlds is playing cards.
Well, I get 2 and have to take the lower.
So the pumpkins, the little pumpkin friends, have a 10 of spades.
Oh, I'm
Can you
sorry.
guys
He's
see the
getting
cards?
drawn right now.
You did. That's your
Oh.
Jack of clubs. 13. Mycroft has a 3 of diamonds. ESP, a 2 of spades. And E has a 4 of hearts. It looks like 13.
So you said you can do multiple actions on a turn, but there's a penalty for each one going down?
Correct. You have to say that you're doing multiple actions in advance of the roll, and it is a -2 per action.
First, he doesn't need to move for this. So I'm going to have him use 4 power points. So that brings him down to 11 as he's going to do protection. So that is a focus roll. So we got a 5. So everybody, ethereal armor goes around everybody. And what it basically does is you get 2 points of armor. And then he is going to move up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does diagonal, is that still fine? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's going to move in front of Mycroft. And then he's going
We have a
to...
nice line here.
He's going to shoot his
It'll be
gun.
perfect for the armor-piercing pumpkin scenes.
He's going to use his pistol.
Okay.
So that is a 6 -2, so it's a 4.
4 for the toughness. It does not hit its toughness.
Okay. And then
Dang,
that's,
those -2s.
That's a bullet. So if he shoots again, is that -4?
No, it would be another -2.
Oh, it just
Or are you double
continues-
tapping?
Well, double tapping.
double tapping or
I
you-
assume double tapping is with hits.
Double tap just means you're expending 2 bullets, but you get +1
Oh,
to
he
the
got-
singular shooting roll and the damage.
So if he was double tapping, would that have made it a 5?
It would have, but that still wouldn't hit the toughness.
Okay. So he's just gonna, I guess, shoot again, and I guess I'll lower another shot, because that's 2 shots then. So he's at...
Okay.
Okay, so 6
So-
hits.
6 will succeed the shooting roll. Then you're gonna roll the damage.
Yeah,
to
and
see
the
if you can hit the
damage
toughness.
is 2d6. Okay,
Those
so
2
then that's
dice
7
there.
total.
7 total. With armor piercing 1.
Yeah.
Yes, that hits. That'll hit its toughness, which leaves it shaken. So this first guy up here is shaken.
Okay, and then he's going to end it there, I guess.
Beautiful. That makes it the Jack Little's turns. Oh, did I say multiple? Weird. Because as the gate is open and as you guys are standing this close and attention is being drawn, you now see this one, another limb or another vine flaps over the side of the gate. And this one draws itself over, followed by a third. You hear, just slightly hidden behind some of this foliage of this first tree here, you hear another one, well, E doesn't, but you hear another one pop up over the gate, a fourth, and then a fifth pull itself up and over. That's okay, this first one is shaken though.
Good, yay.
So they came up and over. As a free action, this one needs to make a spirit roll to unshake, and we'll see how successful it will be. 6 is a success, so he is unshaken. He's going to giggle and come towards you. 13.
Doesn't have to.
So he's going to come over and he's going to bring one of these odd viney tendril arms crashing into you. He's going to make
I hope
a...
it's not too long. He just conga lines us all down.
No, he can only reach the 1. It's his strength. A 2 does not hit. Then you won't mind so much when his buddy comes rolling up, but they're a little bit further back and can't quite reach. This one can, though. This one not as much.
And to confirm, are opportunity attacks like a thing in this game?
They are, in fact. This guy first is going to swing at you, also with his arm. So he definitely missed. The other one, he also does not. They are giggling and
Nice.
wildly swinging these vines at you, slapping at the ground and the earth and leaving these notable dents in the ground by you. That is the Jack Little's turns. Next is going to be E.
Can I hit the jack-o'-lanterns with my gun from here, or do I need to move?
If you have a semi-auto pistol, the initial range without any kind of penalty is 12 spaces.
So she'll just shoot at, not the one right next to 13, but this one that's further out.
Ah,
This one over here.
okay.
4.
4 is a success on a shooting roll.
Okay, so then I roll 2d6 for damage. Does the ace thing count for damage?
Yes, it does.
So we're at a 10, 13.
Yeah.
A 13 is definitely going to hit its toughness with a raise. So it is not just shaken, it is also wounded.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you watch it kind of like, it squeals, and then you watch the vine sort of semi-loosen as it kind of falters and crashes to the ground. But it doesn't look like it's much in the mood to fight at the moment as it collapses.
So then, can I shoot it again?
You can. It's considered incapacitated at this point.
It's dead?
Incapacitated.
So does E get the sense that it could eventually get back up again?
Give me an occult roll.
4, so 2.
Wait, you have so many
yeah.
bennies.
Oh yeah,
true.
I'll use a Benny.
Use those Benny!
I forget that they exist. It's another 4, so a 2. I'll use it 1 more. Hey, that time it was a 6, and so I get to roll it
Hey.
again. So 7, so 5.
You're not sure what the heck this thing is that just popped out of the ground. This is definitely the strangest of encounters you've probably had so far, but there is something strange about it, not just because it's a walking pumpkin, but between
No, that's pretty normal.
That's standard. There's something about it that, like, it's not necessarily going to get up and fight you again, but it's also not dead, and you just shot it. So it's got, like, a piercing in its pumpkin head, but it's not dead. It also
Double
doesn't look
tap.
like it's much of a fight.
I was gonna say she'll shoot at it 1 more time.
So you would have needed to announce that because it's a multiple action. So your other roll should have been at a penalty. Multi-actions are -2 for every action you take.
Gotcha. No worries.
Did you want to
Okay.
move at all or anything else?
She's gonna stay back here.
I would too.
Valid.
All right, that was our 4. Our 3 is Mycroft.
Alrighty, targeting this one, I am going to attempt my Dispel power.
Okay, tell me how that goes.
Dispel allows a hero to negate enemy powers. It has no effect on permanent enchantments or innate abilities such as the Dragon's Breath. Dispel affects arcane devices normally. Dispel can be used on a power already in effect or to counter an enemy power as it's being used. In either case, dispelling an opponent's power is an opposed roll of arcane skills. with a -2 modifier if the rival's power is of another type, such as magic versus miracles, psionics versus weird science, etc. If the dispelling character wins, the targeted power ends immediately.
You won't see an effect.
Then, for the rest of combat, he is going to make sure that Claire stays behind him. He will do his best to shield her with his body, and
Love to do that.
and he's also going to look around to see if there's like a rake or something that he could defend himself with, because he doesn't carry a gun due to his pacifist hindrance.
Assuredly, there is some kind of rake. Then last but not least is going to be ESP.
She's going to say there are 5 of them and there are 5 missing kids that could be connected, and then she's going to try and read one of the pumpkin's minds.
Read a pumpkin's mind.
Notoriously
What do
hollow-headed.
pumpkins think about?
Oh my
I was gonna say,
lord.
What she's looking for is, are you one of the missing kids or not? Hey, that's a 6 on the d6, so we're going to roll that again. Or another 6 on the d6. 4.
It's a 14. Yeah, you definitely beat its 2. You reach into this pumpkin gourd mind, and it is like chaos in there. It is just this weird energy that is bombarding your brain, but somewhere deep, deep down within the hollow shell is a childlike mind in there that is terrified and also like unconscious and also what? So there's a lot going on in there.
I almost
Yeah,
killed
that's
one
the
of
kids. Everyone, these are the kids in front of us. They are enchanted in some weird way. Incapacitate, do not kill. I repeat, incapacitate, do not kill until we know more.
I don't think he can't hear you.
No, she can't. She's over there just
said-
bombing around. Oh
you
wait,
said
no, you
you
said you
moved.
muted. You said you paused your music.
You said
and
you
moved
turned
it.
off the song
Yeah,
When combat started?
yeah,
or
you
when
said
we...
that when he told
Right.
you.
before combat.
Yeah,
started.
he told when 13 told you about noises from the pumpkin patch. You said that you paused your music and moved your
When
piece.
combat started, though, she would have put her music back on and
You gotta have
started
background
listening to it
music.
again.
I will start texting that same message because this is important to get out
Oh, she
and
would
turn
get.
around
She's
to
got
look.
the setup so when she gets a message, it just reads it straight into her headphones. So if you text her something, she's
Oh.
got it.
Got it. Are you gonna move it all?
I'll move back 1.
All right, then let's go to round 2, shall we? You get a new hand every round. Yep, Jack B. Littles have a 9 of diamonds. 13 has a 6 of heart. Mycroft has a 10 of clubs.
Draw 2,
ESP,
keep the lowest.
a 5, and E, an 8 of clubs. Mycroft,
So with rake in hand, just try to like whack the pumpkin over the head with the rake.
okay, give me a fighting roll.
Well, that is max on both. That's a 4 on the d6.
What is the stats of a rake?
Give it your strength, like just your strength die. Like it's just how hard can you hit with a rake.
That would be a 3 for my
That's not-
strength.
That's not very hard at all. Yeah,
Nope.
you whack at it, but
My
it doesn't
lowest
seem
stat.
to doesn't seem to do much. You were hitting at this guy?
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to do much as you pop it on the head, and it almost seems to laugh at the thought of it.
I will back up to remain in front of Claire.
I can take care of myself. You're the pacifist.
So if you are still going to back up, then this guy will still get a free
Yep.
attack. You'll take it?
Yep.
That's okay, a 3 won't hit you. That was Mycroft. That's going to move us to the Jack B. Littles, who are so excited.
Well, if
About
they
their
move away
friend.
from 13, he gets to whack them too, right?
He will.
Yep.
But only if they move away from 13.
Yeah.
But this guy,
Oh.
Hello.
they don't really recognize. So what I'll have him do, I'll have him move here, which is still adjacent, really. He's going to multi-attack. He's going to go for the multi-attack. So this is at a -2 to hit you, Mycroft, which is still only a 2. But it almost seems like it's skipping as it goes to like smack you, and then it will move out of range of you, 13, if you want a free attack on it.
Yeah, so you said that's fighting?
Yes.
Yeah, so I got a 7.
7 is, yes, that will succeed the parry.
Alright, and then you said strength?
How big are you?
I mean,
You're a
he's
big guy.
6'2".
Yeah, you're a fighter type.
Well, he's got a D6 for strength.
Yeah, I'll even add a +1 in there, because you're a big tough guy. D6 +1, go.
So that's gonna be 5.
Against these little things. Yeah, you managed to make contact with it, but it doesn't feel like this armored gourd. This gourd seems to be protecting
Yeah, he
it.
does a kick to its head. Like a roundhouse kick.
Yeah, and it laughs as it keeps skipping, and its next swipe at the -2 will strike at ESP.
Is there any advantage at all that I am shielding her with my body?
I'll give it
Literally just
quarter
like
cover.
doing this in front of her
I'll
with
give
the
it quarter
rake.
cover. So another -2, which is still only going to be a 1 then to hit her, which definitely will not hit her parry.
No.
These two up front here are taking a strike
Exactly.
at you. 13. 2 doesn't hit. Does a 6 hit your parry?
No. Oh wait, yeah,
Okay.
that's his parry amount.
Perfect. That's what he needs to hit. That's a success. So his attack. Does a 5 hit your toughness?
No, because he has tough 5 plus 3 armor.
Beautiful. Then you feel the slaps
But
hitting
it's
your
not
body.
armor piercing, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
You feel these slaps hitting your body, and it's annoying more than anything. And the last one, you watch it jump into the air, and then you watch it land hard back on the ground, but the vines seem to like have formed a kind of funnel shape, this piercing shape that goes into the ground, and you watch the
Say
pumpkin,
the last one. Which one's the last one?
this guy in the back.
Okay.
You watch the pumpkin sink into a hole in the ground. You watch, or you don't watch, but you do see eventually, at least E does, as it pops up right in front of her and goes to strike. That's 11 to your parry.
Oh no.
What is your parry?
Is 4.
Ain't no way.
Just barely hit.
Okay.
She's over there just
gonna be-
dancing to the
That's a
music.
success with the number of raises doesn't matter, but it does add an additional d6 to the damage. Bennies can also be used to soak wounds.
Okay, I have 3 bennies
Like a little
left.
video
I
game
don't-
tip on the
I
loading
don't wanna
screen.
get wounds, so.
I have to do math.
Quit rolling your dice! No! No!
57.
No! I don't like the counting.
25 against your toughness?
So 7 with the
Okay.
And she was never heard from again.
Just slams you into the ground and you're gone.
For the record, I was gonna pick heal as a power, but Bren's just like, no, everyone's gonna have stim packs. Everyone, it's gonna be fine.
Don't you guys have stim packs? Did no one take the stim pack?
I mean, he's got a backpack full of stuff, so surely there's one in there.
So before the wounds are dealt, so it would be, what's your toughness again?
7
With 2 armor piercing?
with the 2.
Okay, so we'll go, so the 7, that still is only 3, so it's shaken, and then 2 wounds. Before those are applied, you can use a Benny to make a soak roll if you would like.
I would like to use a Benny.
Go ahead and roll your vigor. 1 success removes a wound. A raise
A
will
raise
remove the
is
next
2.
one and the next. If you get 3 successes, or 2 raises, you can remove
Oh,
the
I
shaken.
rolled a 6 on one of them,
Let's
You
go.
just need to get
Yay.
2. You just need 8.
and then a 4.
Oh,
so
yeah.
10.
10. That's a success
With a
with
raise.
1 raise.
1 raise.
You can remove the 2 wounds, but you're shaken.
Okay. So then on my turn, I can do something to try and become unshaken.
Yes, you will. As a free action, you will make a spirit roll.
Okay.
Which you get a
Got it.
bonus from ESP.
Yes, you
Oh,
do get a
yeah.
bonus for
Plus
that.
1 for that.
Correct, correct. It is your turn, E. Speaking of
Okay, so she's gonna try to become unshaken first. You said that was
spirit. Or
okay.
something.
So 5.
That's a success.
Woo!
You can now take your turn as normal.
Okay, so she's gonna try to shoot the pumpkin in front of her.
You
Why-
are shooting at melee range, which is a penalty. But you don't have to shoot at this one if you don't want to. Or you can just pop this one in the face.
Yeah, she's gonna shoot at the one in front of her. 6,
Who cares?
7, still 5,
Yeah, go for it.
3.
3 does not hit its toughness. Are you going to
Even
move?
though she would take an opportunity attack, she's gonna try to move away from it.
Sounds good. Where are you going?
She's gonna go over here.
So for
Puts her head up.
characters who are extras, as we call them, they're not wild cards, they're extras. If they roll a 1, because they don't get a wild die, the director will also do sometimes is confirm it by rolling a d6. That is called a critical failure.
So he
Which is
falls
bad.
over and becomes shaken.
Yeah, I like it. It's your turn. Go for it. 13.
He's gonna risk it, and he's gonna move back 1, so that way they're in shooting range, because he could do more damage.
He failed. Go for it.
He fails.
He failed his opportunity attack.
This one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was gonna do a multi-attack. Sorry if I mean, it's definitely missing this one. But
Got you.
I'm
No
forgetting, I forgot to say that because he only got like -2, he got a 3. So he's gonna shoot at the one right in front of him again.
Okay.
Alright, that's a 6.
6 hits.
So that is 6, 7.
That will hit his toughness and shake him.
I keep forgetting that after the shaking, you still have to like seal the deal. So he's gonna shoot at hit that guy again. Okay, well that one's gonna be missing with a 1. Can I shoot at
One's so
that
bad.
thing one more time?
I'll allow you one more.
6 on a 6. That's a 7. -2 + 1, so that's a 6 still to hit.
Yeah? Or
Oh,
6,
that's gonna be 5 damage.
5 doesn't hit his toughness.
SP will just turn to face this one back here and take a shot at it.
For a second, I thought that
So
was
what-
he incapacitated. I was like, she's going for blood.
Destroy
No.
them. After telling the rest of
Yeah,
us to not kill them.
She's like, I'd actually,
Oh, guys, I'm a
guys.
double agent.
Guys?
Ooh, that's a 6 on a d6. Let's do it again. That's a 3, so a 9.
Yeah, 9 is success with a raise. So add a d6 to your damage. So it's gonna be 3d6 now.
7.
7 with 3d6?
They rolled low.
That's okay. You're shooting at the one that's shaken, so it's fine. Shaken already and another shaken means a wound. And for our extras, that means it shrivels up and falls to the... Well, it's already on the ground, so you just watch the vines kind of loosen a little bit before they tighten back up, but it just doesn't move again.
And then she's gonna risk the opportunity attack or whatever and run towards it on the ground to start investigating it.
Sounds good. I think that, yeah, 7 will hit.
Yeah. So it's 6 plus the 2 armor, that makes it 8.
Yeah, it does not. You feel it hitting your back as it goes giggling, but it does not hurt you. It's just, you feel bad for
Beat
this.
the vine back with my rake.
There you go. I will give you a freebie notice roll.
Sweet. Ooh, that's a 6 on the d6 again. And another one. And a 3. So that's a total of 15.
You get closer to it, and what you notice is that where the vines had started to slightly come apart and then they came back together, the only part of it that didn't kind of move like that at all was the gourd head. And the only viney part, so to speak, of the gourd head is the stem on top that is sitting there, just poking out. It otherwise seems very plain compared to everything else on its body. The stem gets your attention. Little wobbly stem.
Can I pull on it? Or would that be a thing for next round?
That would be additional. But you can speak as a free action.
Don't kill them. I think the stem on the top of their head is what we need to be worried about. It's different than the rest of it.
All right.
Well, we had a weed
Round
whacker.
3. A king for our Jack Belittles. A 5 for number 13.
Oh, that doesn't work for him.
Oh, no, it does not. Well, this 4 wouldn't have worked either, so we'll just get rid of both of those.
Finally, his quick is coming into play. But that
Nope,
doesn't
not
work.
a 3 either.
Hey guys, I'm throwing
Get
out all
rid
the
of
bad
all
ones.
the
A
low
2?
cards.
Not a 2 either.
Who shuffled this? Aha, king
There's your king.
of clubs.
This
That's
is one of the throwaways.
clearly a better suit.
Actually, yeah, I think spade is last. Mycroft with the queen of spades. ESP with the 3. Has she gotten last every single time? Oh, let's just double check and make sure. She takes the lowest of 2, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's hesitant when it comes to stressful situations.
And E, dang it, it's not a joker.
9.
Starting with 13.
Aha, time for smash.
Literally with a king, which is 13.
So he is going to do multiple things, because first he's going to try and shoot this one, and then he's going to hopefully incapacitate that one, and then move his efforts to that one.
Hey, -2, go.
Yes, I got a 6 on the 6, and then a 3. So that's going to be 7 plus 1 because of the double tap, so that's going to be 8.
Against this guy?
Yeah. And then I have to roll the damage,
Mm-hmm.
which is a 6 plus 1, so that's 7.
Ooh. It's already shaken, so it's going to get the wound, which incapacitates him.
I was like, I thought you would say that kills you. I was like, what?
Nope.
So now he's going for that. So that is a 6 minus 1 plus 1, so 5.
To hit his parry
Yes.
initially. 5 hits the parry.
Aha! And then, ooh, that's 7 plus 1, so that's another 8. Yes, 8.
8 hits the toughness because the other one hit the. Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to switch because he just went through a whole clip, and so he's reloaded. But I'll say that took up the remaining amount.
Yeah, that would have been your last one.
So this guy's wound or dazed or whatever, right?
You just hit the. Yeah, that's gonna make him shaken.
Okay, shaken. That's the term. Yeah. Cool.
The Jack belittles. There's only 2 left. There's only 2.
And if 13 can, he will try to like goat this one to attack him over that.
You can make
one.
a taunt
I don't
roll.
know. Oh, he can. That's a
Called
thing.
a taunt roll.
Is that a
Taunt
skill?
is a skill.
Is that a skill?
Taunt is a skill.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
is.
I don't have taunt, but what I do have is hope. So I'm gonna.
That would be a D4 minus 4 then.
Yeah,
Because
minus 4.
It's a multi-action and you don't have the skill.
Oh, so what we.
But you still got that D6 with
You
it,
have
though,
the
right?
D6
So-
minus 2.
So here's the thing. My roll on the D4 is actually higher than the roll on the D6. So he's got a -1 to time.
Yeah, they are not
Maybe
even
it's
paying
just
attention
too
to you.
intimidated by him that it's.
Yes,
Maybe
that
they
one.
think that he's telling a joke, and so they're enticed to go over and have fun with him.
We did start saying it's time for smashing pumpkins.
The Jack belittles. What you see in front of you is you watch them kind of spin, and then you watch them also sink into the ground. But you don't see them come back up. What you do hear, well, not E, because, she's got action music playing. What you hear is this barking. You hear like a dog barking, seemingly very agitated. Everyone give me a notice roll, please. As you have this lull, this moment of calm.
So I got double 4.
I got a 1
After your hindrance.
after my hindrance.
Oh, are they?
That's a 6
Wait.
on the D8.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
never mind. I got a -1. I
A
keep
6,
getting
a
I
4.
keep getting my clumsy and my hard of hearing switched.
Gotcha. And what was yours,
9.
Mycroft? A 9.
9.
You hear these dogs barking. You look around. You see something in the distance. Well, first off, you see is, as you're observing the area, you see a door that's open to the Moore's house. It looks like it was left open. It was not open before. It looks like it was left open. And with the dog barking in the direction of one of these cornfields. Oh, that's what I forgot. E had done a
Cornfields.
roll earlier for investigating some satellite imagery, and I did not give her the results of that. My bad. So what I'll say is that this lines up, and maybe it doesn't affect your decision to have come to the house, but out in the direction of the cornfield seems to be where the dog is barking, and you get the sense of like whoever was in the house is potentially now in that direction. E, what you had seen on your map, maybe it was just one of those really slow loading Google Earth images or something, and like now it's clear and it pings, and you can see as you zoom, there's a spot in the cornfield that looks odd. It looks like it's this dark bruise in an otherwise very pale patch of land, and it definitely lines up with the direction the dog is looking, and if someone were to try and escape from this area, what direction they would be headed in. So you have 3 of these Jack Belittles on the ground, and then you have this point of interest heading in the other direction. What are you guys doing?
Like to investigate the Jack Little in front of me a little more, see if fiddling with the stem gets any sort of reaction or change.
Mm-hmm. You start fiddling with the stem, and you immediately notice that it is, with a little extra effort, it is willing to give way. Give me a quick strength roll, or if you want to offer that to someone else to do who is stronger than you, you're also welcome to.
Team, pull this off.
Okay, he will try. So we got
Well,
4.
are you all right?
He got 4.
I'm fine.
For an unconscious Jack Belittle, I'll say that's enough. It takes a little effort, but with a pop, the stem comes off from the top of this gourd. And you don't see anything except, like, dark and a void of, like, foggy evil. But once the stem comes up, You notice immediately that the vines start to fall away and like almost crumble and pile up on the ground. The gourd head, the cracks deepen in it, become soft and, spongy, and then crack and fall apart. This one, you find a young girl, about 14 years old. Brown hair is matted down with pumpkin muck. Her necklace is kind of stuck to her, this little crucifix necklace like stuck to her skin with other pumpkin juice. She is unconscious on the ground.
Is Gabriella?
Goodness.
That would
We
be
will
Gabriella
run over
Johnson.
to this one and try to pull off the top.
Hey, give me a strength roll.
3. I'll use a Benny and reroll.
Sure. You're also welcome to assist one another as well.
4.
I said 4
There
was
we go.
enough, right? Yeah. You pop the gourd off this one, or pop the stem off, and similar effect, the gourd comes apart, the vines unravel and crumble, and you see a boy you've not met, but you had his picture. His curly brown hair is now matted to his cheeks, and there's pumpkin seeds and guts kind of all down his face and arms. This is Michael McHale, Gabriella's classmate. And we'll
All
say
right,
you do
gonna
the same to the last one.
Yeah.
Very last one, you pop the stem off. When the pumpkin falls away, you see this very like kinky curled brown hair, which is got seeds stuck in it and some pumpkin juices and such, all like shining on his brown skin. And you found Eugene.
E has her headphone off to the side and her music paused at this point in time, but she'll reiterate to them that I'd ordered some satellite images. They were taking a while to download. I just checked my phone and I have them, and there's this weird looking dark spot in the middle of the cornfield over here.
We should go. That's probably where the other pumpkins are.
Before heading out, because I'm imagining we're in the back of the house, right? Most houses, like the back end,
This is the
has
backyard.
like the kitchen. He's gonna run in and quickly try and grab a knife from the kitchen.
What are we gonna do with the...
Let's bring them all together and we'll call an ambulance or something. Call local authorities.
Okay. E whips out her phone and starts dialing 911.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll
Excellent.
do
Are
that
they
while she dials
unconscious?
911.
They are unconscious, yes. They are breathing. They don't look injured. They just look asleep, covered in pumpkin guts.
Mycroft, I'm gonna
As one
guess
does.
you're a little bit stronger than I am. I don't know if you want to like carry these guys to a more appropriate spot to be picked up.
Probably
Maybe
not,
we don't want to
but
move
I'm sure
them if they
between the
have
two
like
of
a
us.
spine injury or a neck injury or something. But I definitely can't pick these guys up by myself.
They're small kids, right? We can try.
They're 14 years old.
One of them.
I have 10 years old that are taller than me in my classroom.
Yeah.
I'm sure between the three of us.
Did he successfully find a knife or whatever? Is
Yes.
that fine? Okay, cool. Because I looked it up. So knives are strength plus a d4 for damage.
Excellent. Love it.
So
All
we
right,
have
where are you off
authorities
to?
coming to pick up these kids, right? So they're on their way.
Yes.
Wonderful. We gotta go find the other two.
We're just gonna leave the kids here.
So towards a cornfield.
If there's more fighting where we're going, we should probably leave them here.
We don't
Well,
want
I
to bring
didn't
them to the
suggest taking them. I just didn't know if we were gonna wait until they got picked up.
I don't know if we
by
can
the
wait.
ambulance or.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, let's go.
It's a small town. There should be someone able to come over here and check out the kids pretty quickly.
He's gonna put a sticker on each one of the kids. Like a...
You did great.
There are various different puns on there.
I love this.
Excellent.
He didn't take them off of the adhesive though, so they could still place them as they want. He just put like the cutout piece on there.
As
All right.
we are walking towards the cornfield, it's in sight, right? Like we can see it from here. It's like right
yeah,
there.
it'll be like past the yard and past that last like, service road and then down.
As
so you guys start running?
As we're going that way. Claire, you're sure you are uninjured?
Uninjured. I'm fine.
Does everyone have?
I promise.
Do all of you have?
Just
a
making
stem
sure.
pack?
I wouldn't want to have to do the paperwork if you got killed.
Right, it's all about the paperwork.
But do you all have a stem pack or something?
I'm sure there's one in this book bag somewhere.
Well, I have an extra. Once we get close, though, because this power lasts for an hour, just because he doesn't know what they might see, he's going to use elemental protection on himself.
and it doesn't take you long. Is there anything else anyone's doing before y'all are heading out, or you guys are already booking it out into the field?
While we're walking, E still has
hope you're
her
not walking.
headphone off. Well,
Oh, actually,
while
he could do this one
moving.
for. He's doing it for everybody, actually. Double ones. Oh my gosh.
That you cannot reroll. You were casting?
Yeah.
That's a backlash.
Oh.
No.
So it's a level of fatigue. A level of fatigue means you have a -1 to your traits until
Does a
you...
stem pack take out a fatigue?
Stim packs are generally for healing, but if you're willing to pause 10 minutes of healing that you would normally need, I would allow the stim pack to heal your
How far
fatigue
is
as
the
well.
walk to get to the cornfield?
It's not too far out. I know you guys are in a bit of a hurry, but
So less than
you
10
are
minutes?
fatigued.
Or more than 10 minutes?
About 10 minutes? I don't know.
Okay.
If you run, yeah, it's like 10 minutes. Or
Well,
maybe a little less.
well,
Are you
if
willing
he's-
to wait?
Well, if he's fatigued, I don't think he's running, but he isn't gonna stop and do nothing for 10 minutes.
Okay, so you're gonna walk for 10 minutes while you chill?
He's gonna walk for the amount of time it would take to get there. You haven't entirely specified how long that takes.
If you're willing to take it slow, I don't know, if you're gonna walk instead, you'll walk a little quickly, we'll say like 15 minutes, whatever. You're going. You're running. It's okay. It's fine. But you use your stim pack for it. He's had some time to breathe. That took a lot out of him, that poor magic backlash. As you guys are going through the field, and the ground's a little bit muddy, but you finally find this break in the tall stalks of corn. But what you see in this break, as you guys come through, the ground is it's this big cutout, it seems, of dirt. And all around you, on either side of you, moving forward, you see these enormous patches of like slightly dying, where you are, they're like slightly dying large leaves, and these gigantic pumpkins that are slightly covered by a number of them. And the further ahead you look, the more dead these leaves look, and the larger some of these pumpkins look. These are like 10 foot across and up pumpkins. What you also see are 2 familiar little pumpkin heads and bodies, but they are already on the ground. And then behind it, the sole main source of light out here, and it reaches, is this eerie green glow. It's a little hard to tell from here, but it does look like there are these 5 key points of this glowing light with these threads of vines that are interlacing between them in this familiar star shape. The ground below it is deeply saturated and dark, and there are some parts where it pools, and you can see the glint from the moonlight gives this red sheen. Right in the center, you see something on the ground. Looks like a body. It's lying still on the ground. And over it, you see the familiar form of Mr. Green hovering over this body. Not actually off the ground, but leaning over this body. And his arms are raised, and it's the shadows cast below him from the rest of these green, fiery plumes are shaking and shivering, making him look taller, more daunting. And then you realize it's not just that he looks taller and more daunting, but he does appear to be growing. Some of the vines that are around the ground are starting to spool around his legs, come around his waist, up to his chest. They go over his arms. They come up to his neck. And as they start to envelop his head, what begins to almost replace his skin and consume his head is this thick orange gourd. And by the time this transformation stops, he's like an additional foot or more taller, and the body on the ground is very still. So you see 2 of these Jack-be-littles on the ground. They look similar to the other ones. They don't appear to be cracked or broken. They're just on the ground. And then you see, dead center of this, as he calls out into the night, the Pumpkin King's reign begins. The Pumpkin King lifts his head, these jagged eye holes that look like they seem to have their own sets of teeth, turn to look towards you, and there's a flickering yellow glow behind his eyes. Sounds like we're gonna draw some cards. Rough start. He's got the ace. 13's got a queen. Wow. Mycroft also has a queen. Hey, there we go. Oh no, she has to take the last
another
one.
No,
it's a-
that's much
I'm so
worse.
sad. I'm sorry.
Start
I
up
really
at the
thought that
top
was
and
a
now we're here.
joker. Dang.
Correct.
And E.
Hey!
The other ace.
Ooh.
The other ace. All right.
Question is, which one's higher? A heart?
The heart.
The Pumpkin Kings, yeah.
Hearts are
So I
higher.
figured.
So the Pumpkin King, his eyes are on you, and that flickering yellow glow in his eyes turns from yellow to this bloody red. He's going to make a roll from here. It's gonna be, let's say our buddy up front. You're not fatigued anymore.
No.
So you feel this kind of almost electric sense about you as some invisible force seems to take hold of you.
Can I dispel that? I can counter an enemy power as it's being used.
Okay, do you have to roll for it?
It is an opposed arcane skill. Double twos!
Double 2 versus a 12 is not gonna do it. But you also can make an opposed spirit roll
Okay.
to avoid this power that is now beginning to lift you off of your feet.
Alright, that's a 4.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, that did not beat its initial roll. So you feel yourself lifted off of your feet, and you're rising and rising. You're a solid 10 feet in the air before you come crashing back to the ground. Oh, wow. Lame. That's only 5 damage. I don't know that hits your toughness.
So his toughness is 5 plus 1 from armor. Because he has the suit.
Oh, this does not say armor piercing. It's just
And he also
a
has
bash.
and it also negates 2 armor piercing. So if it did have armor piercing,
Dang.
it would have to beat that as well.
Excellent. Yeah, you're still feeling the effects of the magic on you, but you do not take damage from it. Then it's going to begin trundling its way towards you guys. But it seems as each step the ground is shaking. It doesn't seem to move far. E.
She is gonna try to double tap this guy. It's a 6,
Nice.
7, so 8.
8 to hit his parry. It will hit.
Sweet.
Roll very well, please.
2d6. 7 plus 1, so 8 damage.
8 damage does not hit its toughness. This guy is a beast of a creature.
Oh boy.
Wait,
Do you want to
Okay.
move at all?
Yes.
Okay.
She's gonna go over here.
Those leaves are tall enough to give, like, they are large leaves and they are enough to give you cover.
Oh, nice. He gets to shoot him from there, too.
All right, Queen of Hearts, Mycroft.
With this information, I'm gonna try to push Claire into the leaves to give her cover.
Kind of rake her over.
ESP, do you accept the push? Or...
Do you accept the push?
Yeah, she would. I
Okay.
hate to say it, but she would.
Does she end up right by E?
Yeah, wherever she wants to
Okay.
end up.
E's gonna pop off her headphone just really quick and be like, if this guy doesn't ask you out after all this crap, I don't know what's going on between you two, but I'm over
It's not
it.
like that. Not like that at all.
And then 13 was alone.
Anything else you'd like to do, Mycroft?
Is readying an action a thing?
Yes. So is aiming.
Well, I don't have anything to aim. I'm not gonna launch my rake at him, so I am just attempting to protect Claire, and if something comes towards her, to move in front of it.
Oh, okay. Being able to interrupt
Take
someone's
care of
turn, that's
myself.
essentially the role of the Joker. So I don't know that they have I'd have to look. If there is, I'll allow it.
To not potentially get backlash again, I'm only going to do one action this turn, and it's going to be putting protection on everyone. So it's going to be the
Okay.
cost of 4 points. Okay, sweet. It works. I got a 5. So Everybody now has the +2 armor. He's also going to move up a little bit. So he's going to step right here, and then his foot's going to go through the ground into one of the tunnels that was underneath. And then he's going to use one of his movements to pull it out. And then he's going to move like right here, because it's more of a cutoff from them.
ESP.
So far from here. Don't complain.
Oh, shut it, you. Told you don't need to do this. Yeah, we're gonna try and take a shot at the Pumpkin King.
Shoot him down.
Alright, got a 4 on the d4, so we rolled that again for it. Another 4, now we totaled 9.
All right. A 9 to hit his parry succeeds.
Wonderful. Ooh, that's 1 6. And a 4, 6, 2. Okay, so that is 12 total.
12 hits. That gives him shaken status.
Can take care of myself here. You're no use to me dead.
All right, round 2. Oh, Pumpkin King, what are you doing? That's only a 4 of diamonds. 13 gets the ace of diamonds.
Yes.
Stick it to his face. Mycroft with the 4 of spades. ESP with the King of hearts.
Roll again and see what's lower.
Well,
Oh,
what's the
gosh,
second
that's
one?
right.
Oh, it's the joke.
Hey!
That's
The Joker doesn't count, right?
Joker is
Like, the
treated as
Joker-
normal.
So first of all, everyone gets a Benny.
Oh, sweet.
Hey.
Second of all, ESP, at any point you are welcome to interrupt anyone's turn. You may take your turn at any time, and you can hold your turn for as long as you'd like. If you hold your turn to the end of the round, you simply are not given a new card. You just have that Joker ready to go whenever you'd like. So, would you like to go first? Would you like to go now? Oh, you also
know what?
get
Yes.
+2 to everything you do this round.
Sweet. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and go again and see if we
Joker's
can
our
get another
boss.
shot off. Oh. Okay, this is going well. That was a 6 and a 4 on the d6 and d4 for shooting, so we'll roll both of those again.
He's shaken too. He hasn't
Another
even had
6
chance
and a
to unshake.
4. Another 6. A 4 is done. That's a 5. So we got 3 6s and a 5 for
23.
23.
18.
Plus 2 is 25.
Yeah.
I wish you had done that on his damage instead.
Hey, we're gonna try for the damage
Yeah.
next.
So that's going to be whatever your damage is, the 2d6, right? Add an additional, oh my gosh, how many raises is that? It doesn't matter as much for the shooting. No matter how many raises you get 1 additional d6. I think that's stupid because that was amazing. I'm going to give you an additional d, so that's 4d6 you're going to be rolling, plus 2 because of the Joker.
All right, one of those was a 6. We're gonna re-roll that. Another 6 and a 1. Okay, 22.
Oh my goodness! Okay, and he's shaken, mind you. He did not have a chance to
Yes.
unshake. So you blast. He gets 3 wounds, but he's already shaken. So that's immediately a wound, and that would be 3 additional. So you blast him with your gun, and he, first of all, 13, you already felt electrical energy around you fading away as the concentration leaves you. You no longer feel under its control. Like you might get lifted and launched at any moment.
Oh, I didn't realize
As
that
this
was
creature
lingering.
starts lurching towards you, and these bullets come from over your shoulder as ESP shoots. They strike him right through the eye holes in this gourd and go blasting out the other side. And the pumpkin gourd in the back just cracks. Its vines go weak, slightly unraveling, but also twist back and collapses to the ground. Pumpkin King is fallen on the ground.
When that happens, Pierre turns around and gives Claire a hug and then immediately backs off. I cannot believe what just happened. And if you
No.
ever speak of this, I will put poison in your tea. And he walks away to the kids.
The whole time that happened, he was just like looking at him like,
Claire's just looking from her gun to the fallen Pumpkin King and back a few times, sort of shakes her head, holsters her gun, and heads off to check on the kids.
As you guys
He's-
go to... Sorry, E, where are you going?
she was gonna try and rip off the topper on the Pumpkin King's head.
You very graciously pop the stem off, and very similarly to the children, you watch as the gourd melts and shrivels. Just the pumpkin refuse is left on his body, and you see Richard Green on the ground, unconscious. Yeah, he's there. And the same effect happens on the other 2 children. If you go to remove those stems, you find Sarah Carter, and you find Lucas Sullivan, the smallest of them, in one of those gourds. As you guys are in a moment of triumph, having stopped the Pumpkin King and freed Richard Green and whatever it is you'll choose to do with him next, you free the children from the gourd imprisonment. You hear this kind of rumbling in the air. It's almost like that sound and that feeling of an incoming storm. Like the rain is on the way, but it's coming from much closer. And just a few paces behind you, where that flame and green aura remains, you hear this, and it drifts into a bit of a laughter sound. And if you look, you see this vague outline of a humanoid form, very ethereal. It slowly becomes a little more corporeal, and you start to make out what appears to be this long, pale hair. You see this trailing black dress, thin arms, outstretched, the nails sharp and long, almost like claws. And the last thing to appear a little more fully is the face. It's gaunt, pale, the eyes are this burning yellow. But nothing about this female figure is ever fully there, as the laughter is coming from her sharp teeth. And all you hear is her saying, "Husband is a good man, not good enough it seems. I'll have to move my work elsewhere. So long, Oblivion." And then you watch the body fade away. It kind of starts to burn up into this wisping smoke, along with the green flames. The vines that were forming that star shape in the ground also burn up and disappear as the flame goes out and your main source of light vanishes, and you're left in mainly just the moonlight. So as you are left with the bodies of the children now recovered, the body of Richard Green now recovered, unfortunately the still very still body of another person you've not had the pleasure of meeting, but E saw him briefly in her research about the pumpkin contest. It was Sterling Moore, the other rival between the two of them. He is left on the ground, unmoving, not breathing, in this darkened, damp earth that you can see close up was blood. And as you guys determine your next steps in your otherwise completed mission to find the missing children and at least get a hint of what was going on, I'd say mission complete. Congratulations, agents.
Thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Capture and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean, wholesome content to the world of tabletop RPGs. A particularly huge thank you to our players, whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people. David, who plays 13, Catherine, who plays ESP, Kassie, who plays E, and Josh, who plays Mycroft. I'm Brenna, I'm your director for this adventure, and we'll see you back here next time. Happy Halloween, blessed All Hallows Eve, and safe travels until we meet again.